It's the final opportunity for veterans and rookies on the roster bubble to fulfill their dreams or have their bubbles burst. They've been going at it since OTAs, been battling new expectations and a difficult past in their heads while battling on the field for a possible place in Cleveland Browns history. Many questions about this team have been asked. Tonight, we'll see some of the answers in this final preseason test. It's the Browns versus the Lions next. Welcome to Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan for preseason game number 4, the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions. Hello again, so good to be with you. Jay Crawford alongside Tim Couch. Tim, it's been a grind to this point. It all comes down to tonight. One last chance for the bubble guys to prove they belong.
It's going to be a big night for a lot of rookies and veterans alike that are on the bubble trying to make this football team. And tonight we'll go a little ways in impressing this coaching staff one last time. But, Jay, the writing's on the wall for a lot of these guys because they've had OTAs, they've had training camp, they've had 3 preseason games to evaluate these guys. So I don't know how much tonight will influence the decision-making, but you have to go out here and perform and give yourself every opportunity.
One player not fighting for a roster spot, but it's still a big night. Baker Mayfield, he'll get his first NFL start, although it's a preseason game. It's his team tonight.
Well, it's a preseason game, but Baker Mayfield is extremely excited to get his first NFL start tonight. We got a chance to talk to Baker yesterday. He talked about the preparation that he's put in to get ready for this first game, this first start, and I know he's extremely excited to get out on the field. And, Jay, I'll tell you, he's excited because he doesn't know when his next opportunity is going to come to get on the football field, because when the Pittsburgh game rolls around, this is Tyrod Taylor's football team.
Well, we saw some of the preseason highlights there from one Baker Mayfield. We had a chance yesterday to ask him if he's had that welcome to the NFL moment yet. He had no problem going back to it.
No, he knew right away what that welcome to the NFL moment was, and he was in with the first team unit when Tyrod went down in the Philadelphia game, and Fletcher Cox welcomed him to the NFL, and Baker will remember that one for a long time.
We know that the position battles that will take place tonight will have a lot to do with the shaping of this football team. Hugh told us yesterday the offensive and defensive line will be groups that they watch very closely. One you have your eye on, though, is the wide receiver core. Why?
Yeah, the wide receiving core is one that's going to be a battle because there's 6 spots available at that position, and we know 4 of those positions are pretty much already filled. So there's several guys that are competing for those final 2 spots. And, you know, we're talking about Ratley, C.J. Board, some guys like that are going to have to come out and play really well tonight to make this football team. And, Jay, it's not only about contributing as a wide receiver in the pass game to make this football team. The 5th and 6th wide receiver, they always have to contribute on special teams as well, so that'll go into the decision-making factor as well.
Tight end will also be interesting to see how that plays out, and I think it's safe to say that Devin Kajus has sort of emerged from this training camp as one of the fan favorites, thanks in part to his exposure on Hard Knocks. What do you make of Devin's chances of making this team?
Well, I think one thing that's cool with Hard Knocks and the way they've covered this football team is we really get to know these players on a personal level. And once you see Kajus' story and his father's battle with his illnesses and those kind of things, it really makes you pull for Kajus. And, you know, really when he's got on the football field and had an opportunity to play, he's made a lot of plays for this football team. He's an excellent pass receiver at the tight end position, and he's going to get a great chance tonight because Baker Mayfield is going to be throwing him the football in the first half.
Well, more than 30 players that are currently on the Browns roster will not be come Saturday at 4 o'clock. Kickoff straight ahead. Also, when we come back, we're going to hear from Dustin Fox and Bernie Kosar for the first time. Also, we'll check in with Hugh Jackson before the start of tonight's game. Motown would not be Motown without the late, great Aretha Franklin. Detroit has been remembering Aretha Franklin all week long.
Browns' 4th and final preseason game. Cleveland in town to take on the Lions at Ford Field. John Doss now joined by Browns head coach Hugh Jackson. And, Coach, this final preseason game gets a bit of a bad rap, doesn't? People act like it's kind of a throwaway game. But that's not the case when you got a lot of guys fighting for roster spots.
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know, it's important still to evaluate your team. We still have some decisions that need to be made. So it's going to be a big opportunity for some of our players tonight.
And you've been adamant that guys can do something tonight to earn a spot. You guys aren't settled on that 53-man roster just yet.
Oh, absolutely. I think this, as I said, is another opportunity for guys to go showcase their ability against another team. And to me, they're showcasing for 31 other teams as well. So I think it's important all the way around.
Baker Mayfield getting the start tonight. If all goes to plan in your ideal scenario, this may be the last time we see Baker taking meaningful snaps in a game in quite a while. So what do you want to see from your rookie tonight?
I just want to see him keep progressing, just get better, a little bit better than what he was last week. I think he's improved every week, even though last week there was an interception. We need to pick up from there, make sure that doesn't happen. But outside of that, I think he's had a really, really good preseason.
Coach, thanks so much. J10, back to you guys.
All right, John, thank you very much. Now let's check in for the first time tonight with our sideline crew, Dustin Fox, Bernie Kosar. Guys, good evening.
Hey, guys, how you doing? It's an important night for a lot of guys. And for guys like me who are battling to make roster spots, this was kind of like a Super Bowl for me. And Bernie, what's going to happen the next couple days? Because you've been through this before. John Dorsey, Andrew Berry, these guys, they've got their hands full.
Yeah, absolutely. Besides being the fourth preseason game, a lot of people a lot of times don't get into it, but this is a lot at stake for a lot of guys. 37 cuts. Their 90-man roster getting cut down to 53. There are going to be 37 guys, almost 40% of the team leaving. With 32 teams in the league, that's 1,184 transactions. The Browns coming in last place last year, we're going to have waiver wire claims to almost 1,200 guys. So personnel department's going to be awful busy.
You're like Carl Nassib here with the numbers. Back to you guys.
Except for Bernie's are accurate.
That's exactly
and
right.
apparently, Tim, we didn't get the Bernie Kosar let's wear a tie memo. Bernie putting us all to shame.
Looking good, though, Bern. I like it.
So Detroit wins the toss. They defer to the second half. That means we'll see Baker, Mayfield, and the Browns on offense to start tonight. The kick is taken at the goal line and returned to about the 31-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. We'll sort that out.
During the return, holding. Return team number 83. 10-yard penalty. First down, Cleveland.
So Baker and the Browns will take over 1st and 10 from just inside the 20-yard line. And Tim, you talked about it in the open. This is a big night for Baker Mayfield. His first start as an NFL player. You'd never know it, though, by talking to him yesterday. Just as cool as a cucumber yesterday.
Very poised, and he's excited about this first start opportunity here tonight, and I think he's going to have an outstanding game.
He's going to throw on his very first play. He's got his man open. That's Devin Kajus. He's taking it past midfield, breaks the tackle, and is finally pushed out of bounds, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what that is. So right off the bat, Baker making a huge impression with a nice throw downfield to tight end Devin Kajus.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 41. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Tim, nice way to start his first NFL game as a starter.
Good way to get things started, and we talked about Devin Kajus in the open, how he's one of those bubble guys. He has to have a big game here tonight to make the team, and on the first play of the game, he comes out, runs that corner route, gets a little separation from the defender, and Baker puts it right on the money.
Well, absolutely trucks the defender to get open. That was Roland Milligan in coverage, and that's one of the things that the coaches look to see. They want to see, are you running to contact? And certainly Kajus doing all he can there to get open and haul in a very big reception. The Browns have it now 1st and 10, the 39-yard line. The line pieced together. Austin Corbett, Kevin Zeitler seeing his first action of this preseason. So this is probably a smart move by Hugh, Tim. 40% of the offensive line starters, you want to protect your franchise quarterback.
There's no question. You've got a guy, Baker Mayfield, who's the #1 pick in the draft. You don't want to throw him out there with a bunch of linemen who are going to struggle in pass blocking, some guys who don't have a lot of experience, who haven't played much. So you want to put some of those first-team guys out there, give him some protection, and give him an opportunity to throw the football down the field like we saw in that first play.
Now, Milligan injured on that first play, coming off the field with a little assistance now. So he'll have a couple of linemen up front that will start. He also has Nick Chubb as the starting running back, and also Anthony Callaway. So he'll have some offensive skills position help to try to move this Browns offense. And someone on the left side moved. It looks like it could have been Desmond Harrison.
I'll start. Offense, number 69, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It was, and that's one of the positions, Tim, that is certainly under the microscope tonight. Offensive line, defensive line, coaches are looking at everything.
Certainly so, and Harrison is a young player. He's anxious to get this game started and have a big game. He knows he needs to have a big one, but you got to stay in there and wait on the snap count. And it's been an ugly start to this football game. 3 penalties already.
Baker gives to Chubb, has a nice hole. Finally brought down after a pickup of a couple. So they get the penalty yardage back and then some. 2nd down 8. Here's the way the skills position players will go for the Browns offense, and Kajus already making the big play. This is a big night for Danny Vitale. He's seeing his first action of this preseason. He's been battling injuries throughout camp. 2nd down and 9 now. Derek Willey's in motion. Again, the give goes to Chubb, who fights his way forward for a couple. And the run game certainly will be front and center for both of these offenses tonight, Tim. I don't think they're going to do anything crazy. They'd love to keep the clock moving, get everybody out of here healthy, and turn the page to the season opener for the Browns 10 days from now when they'll play the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Definitely so, and it's a big night for Nick Chubb as well. Chubb got off to a slow start against the Giants. You know, he struggled in that football game, but he bounced back and played well against the Buffalo Bills, and now he gets an opportunity to start this football game and hopefully play well tonight.
So a big 3rd down for Baker Mayfield, 3rd and 5. Wants to throw. Has his man again. It's Kajus, who's making quite the impression on these Browns coaches here so far in the early going.
What a great start for Kajus. Two catches already on this drive, and that time he's just running a little drag route across the middle, getting separation, and Baker's finding him, and Baker's throwing the football extremely accurate early in this football game.
So Baker has the Browns inside the 30-yard line now. 1st down and 10. You see Kajus' numbers while at Stanford. Chubb with the give, looking for a hole on the left side, breaks a tackle and still on his feet, finally brought down close to the 10-yard line, but not before. Another 1st down for the Cleveland Browns, who on offense, Tim, look fantastic so far.
They look great, and Nick Chubb looks great. Did you see the patience on that? Watch him get in the hole and wait on his blocker, set that up. He makes the move in the hole, able to get a stiff arm and get around the corner. Excellent job of being patient that time by Nick Chubb.
So a terrific opening drive for Baker Mayfield and this Cleveland Browns offense. We're scoreless, just underway from Ford Field. Another give to Chubb, this time to the right side, trying to follow his block. Orson Charles trying to open a hole. Pickup of a couple, that'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Interesting here in the last preseason game, Todd Haley deciding to pass the play-calling baton. What can you tell us about that, Tim?
Yeah, I talked to Todd Haley before the game, and he said he's going to let Freddie Kitchens call the plays tonight. He said he always does that in the 4th preseason game. He's going to let one of the assistants call it. I think it's a great idea just to get the assistants used to calling some plays and help them out down the line. But so far, so good for Freddie Kitchens. The offense looks great.
I like what he's calling, and I think Baker does too. 2nd down and 8. Mayfield looking to throw. Pocket collapsing. Buys some time and then finally wisely throws it away. No one was open.
A smart play that time by Baker Mayfield, and I love his pocket presence. He's dancing around trying to buy time and let those receivers work open, but no one was able to separate from the defender, so Baker did the smart thing and threw the football away.
Live to see another down. 3rd down and 8 now. This is the 9th play of the opening drive of this football game. Cleveland comes in 2-1 in this preseason. A 20-10 opening victory against the Giants, and then they won last week against the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles in a game that, well, let's say it wasn't pretty. 5-0.
Pretty if you like defense.
Well, the Browns defense will tell you it was pretty enough. 3rd down and 8 now. Baker to throw. Over the middle has Zamari Scott. It's going to be short of the 1st down, though. But Baker showing good patience there as the pocket was starting to shrink, and then completes it to Damari Scott.
He's so poised in the pocket. I thought he was going to take a shot in the end zone that time. He had willies. You see number 84 on the left side of your screen. He's going to run a corner route. I thought he had leverage on the defender, and Baker was going to let that go, but he came off of that and found his outlet receiver and was able to get a completion.
Well, good job going through his progression there. The Browns are going to go for it. 4th down and 1. They can pick up a first down on their way to the end zone. Baker 3 of 4, 55 yards on this opening drive. You'd think they would push Chubb up the middle here.
A great vision that time by Chubb. You see that cutback.
Into the end zone for a touchdown, capping the Browns' opening drive to start this game. And I don't know, Tim, that Baker Mayfield's first start as a pro could have gone any better.
That was a great drive. Baker throwing the football, Chubb running. Look at this cut here. See that vision? He cuts it all the way back. That play was designed to go to the right, and Chubb saw something all the way on the backside across the center and was able to put his foot in the ground and get in for a touchdown.
Hugh Jackson certainly likes what he sees. And, you know, we talked about Kitchens will be calling the plays, the running backs coach. After his opening effort, Nick Chubb, 20 carries, 11 yards at New York. Freddie said he needs to slow his eyes down. And we saw a couple of times on that drive, he did just that. He was patient, he waited for his hole, and he moves the Browns down the field. So the PAT is good. The Browns jump out to a 7-0 lead after an 80-yard opening drive to start their 4th and final preseason game. He doesn't mean John Dorsey. He also does a mean opening drive to start his NFL career as a starter. Tim, I know it's preseason game number 4, and I know it was largely against 2s, but Baker looked really good.
He looks really good. He's looked great all preseason, honestly. But that time, he got an opportunity to start this football game, and I know he was extremely excited about that. And it couldn't have went any better for Baker. 80-yard drive, 9 plays. He threw the football accurate. He made smart decisions throwing the ball away, and Nick Chubb did a great job on the ground as well. The Browns looked extremely good on that first drive.
Zane Gonzalez puts the ball into the air. This is a short kick and will be returned. Brandon Powell is the Lions' return man. He is cut down just past the 20-yard line. Let's go down to Dustin and Bernie. Hey, guys, it was the rookie show all over again.
I was just going to say, I think we got a little glimpse into the future of what the Cleveland Browns may look like. Both rookies, Nick Chubb and Baker Mayfield, were awesome on that drive. Baker Mayfield was accurate. Chubb's vision was terrific. What'd you make of Baker?
Well, I concur with all of you. I mean, watching that drive, Tim pointing out 9 plays, 80 yards, seeing the presence that Baker showed and the presence that Nick Chubb showed, as Tim pointed out, that play was supposed to go on the 4-hole to the right tackle. He cuts it back behind the center on that 4th and yard to get in the end zone. Well done by the whole offense.
All right, see some more out of the rookies coming up. Back to you guys.
All right, guys, thank you very much. So Jake Rudock, the former Michigan product, throws that one incomplete, and that will bring up 2nd down and 10. That's one of the position battles that will be interesting for the Lions here. We know, of course, Matthew Stafford is entrenched as the starter with this franchise, but the battle for the backup between Matt Castle and Rudock, who has looked really good this preseason, is one the Lions coaches will watch closely here tonight.
Definitely so. It's been a good battle going on here in the preseason with those two guys, with Castle and Rudock. And you know, Castle is the veteran. He's played in this league for a long time, and Rudock is a young guy trying to make it. So it's been a good battle, and tonight will go a long way in deciding who becomes the backup quarterback behind Matthew Stafford.
Well, Zach Zenner, the running back for the Lions, wrapped up by Nate Orchard and a group of friends for a 1-yard pickup. So that Browns defense, which looked so good a week ago against the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, picking up where they left off. They have Detroit now 3rd and 11 on their opening drive. So a passing situation here, perhaps a chance to let loose with a rush. Pretty standard defense. The ball is completed over the middle, and the ball is out. I believe they're going to whistle it down. They are, much to the chagrin of James Burgess, who would have loved to have a scoop and score there. But nonetheless, the defense, Tim, does its job. They squash out the short stuff. Jace Billingsley on the other side of the Rudock pass, and just nothing happening against this Browns defense.
Now, they've been good all season, all preseason long so far, and that time, just playing smart. They only rush 4. They dropped 7 guys into coverage and force the quarterback to throw the ball underneath, and they just rally and make a tackle and force a punt.
So Sam Martin to punt the ball away. A high booming kick. The Browns take it inside the 20, and it is C.J. Board with a nice return. Flag down on the play, so the Browns on defense 3 and out, and we saw that a lot so far this preseason.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 48. 10-yard penalty. First down, Cleveland. Timeout.
So on the kick return to start the game, and now on the first punt return, a couple of penalties against this Browns special teams unit, a unit filled with guys trying to make this Browns roster. 7-0 Browns. Through Browns Give Back, the team looks to inspire fans to volunteer 10 hours each year. This past summer, Browns staff and players logged more than 400 hours in one day during its second annual Browns Give Back Summer Volunteer Blitz, adding to the nearly 2 million hours Browns fans have pledged over the past 4 years. So the Browns back with it on offense again to start 1st and 10 from the 20. Mayfield wants to throw, stands tall in the pocket, finds Matthew Days, who has all kinds of room, and takes it all the way to midfield. And that's a big play for him, Tim, because he's fighting for that last running back spot.
Great play that time by Days, working himself open, but Freddie Kitchens on first down is being aggressive, and I love it. So far in this football game, on the first drive, the Browns had 65 yards just on their first down plays alone, and now they come out and start this drive with a 30-yard completion on first down.
First down and 10 now for Baker. The quick throw out in the flats to Derek Willis. He has Damari Scott blocking out front. And Tim, that is forward for a pickup of 11. It's another Cleveland Browns first down. Dustin, Bernie, what do you got, guys?
Hey, guys, the offensive line, I know they're backups out here, but they're holding up pretty well. Bernie, why do you think that is?
Well, I think 2 things. Talking to Coach Patricia for Detroit and Coach Al Golden, who coaches linebackers for the Lions, they really are concerned with their inability to rush the quarterback. Given that we're playing a couple of starters on our offensive line, Baker's getting plenty of time to throw, and he's taking advantage of it.
Already, guys, approaching 100 yards of throwing yards, as again, Matthew Days with a big pickup up the left side. And Tim, after first contact, you're seeing Days just break tackles and move the ball forward.
Hey, Days looks good. You know, he caught a pass on the first play of this drive. This time we get to see him run the football, and look at him be patient. Watch him set up these blocks. Orson Charles out there peeling back, getting just enough, and getting Days out to the outside, and as he fights for extra yards. So both Chubb and Days both looking really good early in this game.
Some nice blocks downfield, too, for this Browns offense, which has just moved the ball at will against the Lions early on. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Baker with the play fake over the middle, in and out of the hands of Derek Willis. Tim, a bubble guy. He'll think about that one the rest of the night.
Definitely so. And Baker went to the right spot with the ball that time. They tried to throw the skinny post in there to the 6'4" Willis, and Baker puts it up high for him, and that's a play that you want to see Willis come down with. And we talked to the wide receiver coach, Adam Henry, last night, and he said if it touches our hands as a wide receiver and we don't catch it, we're considered a drop. I don't care if we get one hand on it, it's high or low. If we touch it, we expect to catch it.
Willis, the undrafted free agent out of Texas Tech. This time the Browns keep it on the ground. Not a lot happening there. That'll bring up a 3rd down, and let's call it 6 for the Cleveland Browns. So Matthew Days, we talked about earlier, he's in a fight for that final running back spot with Dontrell Hilliard. Days has looked good, particularly here in the early going for Cleveland. Hilliard's in there now. 3rd down 6 for Baker and the Browns. Baker to throw, lofts it towards the end zone, and a lot of contact. It brought down Antonio Callaway, but no flag.
Baker taking the one-on-one shot that time to Antonio Callaway at the top of your screen, and Callaway gets a good release, and Baker puts it to the outside, but Callaway just gets tripped up with the defender on that one. We can see how much contact there is. There's a grabbing of the jersey that time that they didn't see, but it's a no call, and ball sails out of bounds.
Well, that'll bring on a field goal try for Zane Gonzalez, who won what we thought was a kicking battle that would come all the way down to the last preseason game. Browns cutting their backup last week, Ross Martin, so it is Gonzalez's job.
Offense, and number 94, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Tim, that is the 3rd penalty on special teams tonight, 4th on the Browns as a unit, and that's been an issue for this team throughout the preseason.
You see the frustration on Hugh Jackson's face. It's just been, like you said, Jay, it's been an issue all preseason long, and they've been trying to clean it up, but it's happening again here tonight.
It has to be Amos Jones's nightmare because he's got a bunch of guys out there that are fighting for jobs. So the snap, the hold, the kick, and it is good from just inside 40 yards for Zane Gonzalez. So the Browns 2 for 2 on their drives under Baker Mayfield tonight. They lead the Lions 10-0. Nothing Browns. Tim, I'm not sure we'll see Todd Haley smile a lot. It's just not his nature. That's probably as close to a smile as you'll see from him. And why not? His offense has looked absolutely spectacular tonight. They are outgaining the Lions 149-6 here in the early going. And your scoring drive brought to you by Speedway, the official convenience store of the Cleveland Browns. 7 plays, 59 yards capped with the 39-yard field goal. Baker Mayfield, 5 of 8, 96 yards. He's looked terrific. Nick Chubb, 5 carries, 30 yards. This is the kind of production that John Dorsey had hoped to see out of his rookies when he called their names early.
For sure, and credit to the offensive line. The offensive line is dominating right now. They're opening up huge holes for these running backs to run through, and Baker has all day to throw the football.
Brandon Powell on the return, taken down at the 26-yard line. That is Dontrell Hilliard with the tackle. Dustin, it's been all Browns so far. This is fun to watch. Maybe having a mic issue with Dustin. We'll get down with him in just a second. But if you're a fan of offense or defense from the Cleveland Browns standpoint, you're loving everything you're seeing out of them tonight. Rudock to throw, complete over the middle for a pickup of a couple of yards. Pass completed to Brandon Powell. Powell, the rookie out of Florida. So Matt Patricia, after 14 seasons with the New England Patriots, the last 6 as their coordinator, now coming over to run the Detroit Lions. And boy, that Browns line is just absolutely providing no daylight for that Lions running game. Montrell Meander there and Jeremiah McKenna on the stick.
Great push that time by the defensive line, but look at number 47, the cornerback McKinnon, stick his head in there and also get involved in that tackle. Making the start tonight, the young player who's on the bubble trying to make this football team, that'll certainly go a long way there.
Well, McKinnon has impressed throughout camp and his preseason snaps. So 3rd down and 8, the Lions yet to pick up a first down. Rudock to throw. No time at all. The ball is knocked free and finally fallen on by the Detroit Lions to keep the football, but a terrific job that time by Carl Nassib, who's another guy that we're watching very closely to see if he sticks around. Sort out the flag.
While the quarterback still had the ball, holding defense, number 47. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Okay, so McKinnon, after we talk about how good he's looked, whistled for the hold there, and that will give the Lions their first down of the night after the Carl Nassib strip sack. And again, it's the little things, it's the mistakes that really need to be cleaned up before they take the field 10 days from now against the Steelers.
Yeah, it does. Just in the first quarter of this football game, we've seen 3 penalties on special teams. We've seen a false start on offense, and now we've seen another penalty on defense, and here's another flag on the field on this play.
Well, B.J. Bello with a terrific job to finish off the run there, but
for 75, 10-yard penalty, first down.
All right, so that one's on the Lions as they held. Nice push again by that Browns defensive front. You know, Tim, you knew about Myles Garrett. Outside of that, you didn't know what kind of depth that the Browns would have up front. And obviously, that now is a position of strength for this defense. between Agba and Ogunjobi and some of these young players that have really stepped up their play. Pass completed, but there's McKinnon to quickly wrap up the receiver and bring him down. That was Hakeem Valles on the reception. Dustin, Bernie, what do you got, guys?
Well, we figured out the mic situation. Sorry for a little technical difficulties with live television, but something to keep an eye on as we go throughout the night, guys, is the depth at linebacker. Remember, Michael Kendricks was just released yesterday, so guys like Justin Curry and James Burgess, these guys now have an opportunity to move up the depth chart and make the roster. Bernie, what do you think about this?
Well, they absolutely have an opportunity with the issues that happened with Michael Kendricks. And you're seeing Greg Williams today, not only with the linebackers, but also with the secondary. Seeing a little bit of pressure so that the linebackers and the secondary are having to play a lot of man coverage, which actually is going to be able to tell if they can make it in this league or not.
You know, it's interesting, too, guys. Greg Williams wants all of his backups to be able to run what the starters run. Because a lot of times, like when I played in the preseason games, they'd run vanilla defenses, especially in the last game. Not the case for Greg Williams tonight, putting a lot of pressure on these guys.
Real astute point is actually it makes it tough with the defensive fronts that Greg Williams is using. Detroit, with their young backup guys, are really having some communication issues.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, guys, thanks. 3rd down and 8 after the completion to Dwayne Washington. Jake Rudock to throw. Good push by that Browns defense. He overshoots his man, and that will lead to a Lions punt. Michael Roberts can't haul it in. And Rudock, who looked especially good in the Lions preseason comeback win against Tampa Bay last week, struggling here in the early going, but credit the Browns defense, which, as Bernie and Dustin just talked about, is they're playing as aggressive as they would if it was the starters in the game.
They are, and definitely credit that defensive line. They're getting a push with rushing 4 guys. Nassib has been back there on the quarterback a couple of times already. And that time the linebacker, Justin Curry, was in the face of Rudock, not allowing him to be accurate with the throw.
So Martin's punt is fielded and eventually brought up to the 30-yard line by C.J. Board. The Browns will take over. They're 2 for 2 on offense. They lead the Lions 10-0 from Ford Field. Chip joins Nathan Segura and Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Jack, the team's official entertainment partner this Tuesday. Tune in to Cleveland Browns Daily Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 locally on ESPN 850 or stream them on clevelandbrowns.com and on the Browns mobile app. Life as a special teams player, whether you're a gunner or an anti-gunner and you're trying to make a team, Dustin Fox, you know all about that.
This is how you make a squad right here. Take a look at these guys. This is Denzel Rice and Mike Jordan locking up the gunner here on the outside. Gunner may be the toughest position in all of football. You got to get down the field and try to make a tackle, but those guys fighting their tails off trying to make a roster spot.
That's how you show up to a job interview. 1st and 10, Baker floats it over the middle, complete, and taking it for another Cleveland Browns first down is Browns running back Dontrell Hilliard. And we talked to him about that last running back position, and it looks like it's Hilliard or Matt Days. That's going to be another one of these tough calls for the Browns coaching staff.
Very tough call. Both of those guys can play, but I really love what the Browns are doing, especially on first down, coming out and being aggressive in this game. Before that play started, they had 149 yards of total offense. 125 of that has come on first down, and now they add to that total with that play.
Baker, play fake, looking, no one, and now we'll get rid of it. Let's go back to that last play, and it's a 3-yard completion in the air. But, Tim, that's one of those plays where sometimes young quarterbacks get a little amped up. That's a touch throw, and you can see guys maybe put a little bit too much on that, but he looks like he's been doing this for 10 years.
He's so poised, and it looks like he has such a good understanding of this offense and what they're trying to accomplish with each play. And look at him just set it up, drop it perfectly over top of the defensive end and right on the money to the running back where he can catch it and make something happen after the catch.
3rd down and 1 now for the Browns. The give is to Hilliard, and he is stacked up right about the line for the first down. It's going to be close. Let's see what they do. And I think they're moving the sticks. It's another Cleveland Browns first down. So this offense, Tim, has looked spectacular under the direction of Baker Mayfield, who's just really showing poise of a veteran and this is his 4th NFL game.
It's unbelievable. He's in control. You know, that's what it looks like to me. He's in control. He's working the pocket. He's not panicking. He's distributing the football. He's getting these running backs involved. He's getting his tight ends involved, his wide receivers. He's throwing the football away when nothing is there, taking care of it, just making good decisions, and so far he's off to a great start.
Well, Hilliard, the nice pickup there on first down. You love to see 7-yard pickups on first down. It opens the playbook now at 2nd down and 3 as the Browns push towards the end of the first quarter. Well, we know Tim Couch as former #1 pick, NFL quarterback. ESPN did a survey in 2015. They named him the 6th greatest high school athlete ever. And he's got
a great bobblehead.
Great-looking bobblehead. 10-0 Browns. We've played 1 quarter of preseason game number 4. Bet he will play, and he'll play a lot as the Browns open the season 10 days from now. Tim, you talk about a blowout from a statistical standpoint. This has been all Cleveland on both sides of the ball, including penalty yardage, unfortunately. That's the one area they need to clean up.
It's been dominant. 19 plays for the Browns and 167 yards, 8 first downs, and the Lions only have 21 total yards so far in this game. So the defense has been dominant, and the offense is moving the ball every time they touch it.
2nd and 3. Baker with the quick completion to Derek Willis. He's going to take it forward for a pickup of 6 and a first down. Dustin, Bernie, what do you got?
Hey guys, we talked about Greg Williams' defense and how really they're running a lot of sophisticated stuff. But you don't see that from Detroit.
Right. On the other side of the ball with Detroit, you're seeing a real basic vanilla defense and coverages. Not to take away from Baker's play, because it's been exceptional, but it's very basic, simplistic defenses right now.
Just took away from Baker's play. Back to you guys.
Look, it's simplistic, and you can say, look, it is the preseason, and these aren't the ones, but everybody on the Lions side of the ball, Tim, is fighting for a roster spot too.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, I agree with Bernie totally. You know, the throws that Baker has been making has been, you know, a lot of one-on-one stuff, just straight man coverage, line up and play it, no disguise, or it's just been a soft zone, and Baker's just picking those apart. So not very complex on that side of the ball for Detroit so far in this game.
Not much there on the run for Hilliard. Call it no gain, 2nd down and 10. In all likelihood, we'll see Mayfield for the first half. Brogan Roback is a guy who would be playing for the other teams to try to either catch on with another team, or perhaps, as you mentioned earlier, a guy that they could keep for the practice squad. Mayfield did not like what he saw and used a timeout there. Tim, did you see anything?
It looked like some confusion in the play call. Maybe they had the wrong personnel group on the field for the play they were trying to run. It just Baker did the smart thing, though, and call the timeout. Make sure you get the right people on the field.
Nothing Browns. Their run game has looked good. Their pass game has been exceptional. And you saw the smile from Hugh Jackson in the pad on Mayfield's helmet. He loves what he's seeing here so far. Look at that smile from Hugh Jackson. Orchard. Larry Ogunjobi looking on. Here's your Browns preseason network affiliates. Hope you're enjoying the game throughout the state. The run up the left side from Hilliard, a pickup of a couple. So we saw that Baker didn't like something, whether it was the personnel grouping or there was a bit of confusion. Let's go down to Bernie Kosar. Bernie, you were telling us a story earlier today about a preseason game during your time with the Cowboys when you checked out of a play. I guess we're not going to see that from Baker in the preseason.
We're probably not going to see much audibling today with the secondary guys and the backups in there. I think you want to get a consistency going and understanding what you're going to be doing, and have all 11 guys on the same page. That's tough to do with so many substitutes in there as we break into the house.
Matthew Days is gone, Bernie. Touchdown. And this is a young man that's doing everything in his power to make this football team. Just a huge hole, but then accelerating through it and all the way to the end zone for the score. to make it 16-0 Cleveland. A great burst of speed on that run, Tim.
Hayes doing a great job stating his case to make this football team. We've seen him make plays in the passing game. 2 long runs, and that time just following his blocking. Great job by that offensive line. You see Baker Mayfield is excited, going down, headbutting lineman in the back of the helmet. I love it, man. This kid loves to play the game, and a great job that time with that Browns offensive unit.
Well, what a burst of speed on the touchdown run of 42 yards. Cleveland's offense can do no wrong. The kick is up and good from Zane Gonzalez. We've played 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the second quarter. 17-0 Cleveland. Take it to the house, Matt Days. 17-0 Browns. That last touchdown, give the guys up front the credit.
All about these guys up front. Watch these 2 offensive guards pull around here and make these blocks. We're going to see number 63, Austin Corbett, the draft pick, get his block, and then Spencer Drango gets up onto the second level, and Matt Days goes untouched, 42 yards for a touchdown. This offensive line has been dominating this entire game, and I know Bob Wiley, the offensive line coach, is loving that.
I think he's our new favorite position coach, right? We spent some time with him yesterday, and the guy is as entertaining in real life as he's been on Hard Knocks.
We didn't even ask a question, and he talked for about 15, 20 minutes. It was unbelievable.
It was a lot of fun. So the Lions take the kick down to the 20-yard line. Bernie, Dustin, 218 yards of offense here for the Browns, and we still have a long way to go in the second quarter.
No doubt about it, guys, but I'll tell you this much. Matthew Days is making a case to make this roster, and keeping 4 running backs on a roster is tough, especially when you have 3 guys like Duke Johnson, Chubb, and Carlos Hyde. But you look at what he's done tonight. You think he can actually push himself onto the roster?
Well, Coach Jackson, yes, I do. Coach Jackson talked about him yesterday in the meeting, saying the 4th running back, how imperative that is to have a good game today. He's definitely not letting us down. And Coach Wiley is so ecstatic on the sidelines here, watching this offensive line play fantastic.
And guys, it's rare for somebody just to have a breakout game in the 4th preseason game to make a roster. I spoke with Andrew Berry before the game. I was asking that very question. I said, can somebody actually make the team? He's like, well, you've got 30 practices, you've got 3 other games. The body of work has been done. But if somebody is outstanding, beyond outstanding, and they're on the border, they can absolutely make the roster. Back to you guys.
Making a strong case here. 2nd down and 5 for the Lions. Rudock wants to throw. Nice pass breakup there over the middle. That is a terrific job by the Browns defense to stop the completion.
Great job this time. It's just a little bit of a man coverage. They bring the blitz up the middle, and he undercuts the route and able to get a hand on it. He keeps that backhand off the receiver where he doesn't get the pass interference call.
Montrell Meander with a big play there. Again, youngsters fighting to make the team. Anything they can do to put another feather in their cap certainly goes a long way. 3rd down 5 now for this Lions offense, who has really struggled against the Browns defense. Rudock to throw. Looking deep and overshoots his man. So Rudock, who's in a position battle with Matt Castle for the backup job, certainly has not played stellar here tonight. There he is, Bob Wiley. And we talked about how entertaining he is in real life. Tim, you're right. I don't think we asked a question, but we all sat there listening to every word as Bob kind of went through his theory of life.
Talking about animals, how they would be great pass blockers and all this kind of stuff. He just went through everything, and he talked a little bit about the way he sets up his offensive line room and all that kind of stuff. And it was just great to listen to him. He's a very knowledgeable guy, and he's been around this league for a very long time.
C.J. Board takes the punt, makes a move, and gets it up about the 43-yard line, but it's been a theme so far for the Browns on special teams. Tim, another flag down.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 18, 10-yard penalty. Cleveland's ball, 1st down. Timeout.
It's been a theme. A lot of penalties on special teams play. Damian Ratley called for that one. 17-0 Browns. Let's watch again on that punt return. C.J. Board, Tim, you pointed it out, comes down hard on that right shoulder, went immediately into the 10.
Yeah, you see him reach for that right shoulder as soon as he hit the ground. An unfortunate injury there for C.J. Board, a guy trying to make this football team as a wide receiver and a special teams contributor, but we're going to take him off and look at him a little further, it looks like.
2 years out of Tennessee, Chattanooga. You see his numbers there. So the Browns back on offense, 11:51 to go in the second quarter. Baker Mayfield has been exceptional tonight. Mayfield with time, shoots it over the middle, and in and out of the hands of Devin Kajus. That's one you got to have.
Yeah, you got to have that one. Baker was a little bit late on that throw, though. He found Kajus late. Kajus was open early in that route. Baker was kind of dancing around in the pocket a little bit and had to throw that ball over the defender. And he did a good job of stopping Kajus, not leading him into the hit that time, but they were able to get in there and jar that football loose.
Second down 10 now for the Browns on offense. Kajus has played well here so far. Mayfield with the give. Not much there for the Browns run game. Matt Days with a pickup of, call it 2. When we see the penalties on special teams, Tim, that could be a case of guys who know that it could be their difference between making the team and not, how they play on special teams, and perhaps just a little over aggressive.
I think so. You know, guys just trying hard to make this team. They know that how they contribute on special teams is going to be a big determining factor in if they make this team or not. So maybe guys just trying a little too hard.
Mayfield now 3rd and 9. Scrambles outside of the pocket, looks downfield and overshoots Charles, who was not open. So for the first time tonight, we'll see the Browns punt team. Britton Colquitt on to punt for the Browns, who are still carrying Justin Vogel, who had a terrific year last year for Green Bay. Colquitt, you would think, would have the upper hand, being here for a number of years. That one is marked down at the 31-yard line. And that's, guess who? Matt Days, who's, I think, selling popcorn when he's not on the field for offense or special teams.
He's doing it all tonight. You know, the guys made a good point about his way he's running the football and auditioning for the Browns. He's also auditioning for the other 31 teams in the league and doing a nice job.
Well, your quarterback stats brought to you by First Energy, your hometown energy team. 7 of 13, 110 yards, QB rating of 82.2 for Mayfield, who up until that last drive had been a perfect 3 for 3 when it comes to points. So the Lions back on offense, 1st and 10 from the 31. Rudock gets his feet tangled with his offensive lineman, and down he goes. So the Lions with another loss to start a series. Just got tangled up there with Joe Dahl, and down he went.
It's been a struggle for Rudock so far in this football game. His receivers aren't getting much separation against these Browns defenders, and you're getting a lot of pass rush on him as well.
Second down 14 now for the Lions. Rudock to throw, dumps it over the middle. That's a completion, and close to a first down is Dwayne Washington. So a nice completion there by Rudock. They had a chance, Tim, to drop him for a short gain, but credit Washington. Makes a nice play, slips free, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 1. And the Browns have practically everyone in the box, sensing a run here. Someone was offsides. That is a tackle for a loss. Credit James Burgess for getting into the Lions' backfield, but someone was offside.
Offside. Defense, number 56, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
B.J. Bello, perhaps a little over-aggressive there.
And another penalty for this Cleveland Browns team, and that time they sold out on that 3rd and short play. They had 10 guys on the line of scrimmage, and somebody was going to come free, and they made the play, but unfortunately they had the penalty to get it called back.
7 penalties, 50 yards against this Browns team. Rudock plenty of time, completes it over the middle, and not much after the catch is made there by Jace Billingsley. Jeremiah McKinnon there to make the stop.
5 yards on the play.
And there is an injured Brown down on the field. Tough to get a number, Tim. It is
the Burgess.
James Burgess, who the play earlier had the nice tackle for a loss, which would have brought up a 4th down. Here it is again.
Hard to tell what happened there. He looked like he got hit also, by one of his own players as he was coming in to try to get back in on that tackle.
So we talked briefly about what will happen at linebacker for this team. Burgess along with Grace and Bello and Curry, guys that you would put into that bubble range. And with the Browns yesterday cutting Kendricks, that ends up being good news for one of these guys that are on the bubble. But that's also going to be, I think, an area that really causes the Browns staff some difficulty when it comes time to decide who stays and who goes.
No doubt about it, Jay. That's a good problem to have, right? You know, too many talented players. It makes that decision tough to figure out who you're going to let go.
2nd down 5 for the Lions. Rudock from the gun. That ball may have been tipped at the line. It sailed high and incomplete. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Dustin, you have an injury report.
Yeah, guys, C.J. Board went out of the game with a shoulder. He is questionable to return.
All right, Dustin, thanks. Yeah, we saw him land on that shoulder during the return. He's a guy fighting for one of those receiver spots. 3rd down 5 now for the Lions. They look to push it past the 50 for the first time tonight. Browns showing blitz. Rudock to throw, and that is in and out of the hands of Brandon Powell. So that will bring up a 4th down and 5. And again, another offensive possession ends with a punt for the Detroit Lions. Very, very difficult completing a pass against this Browns defense, who has been aggressive, Tim. We've seen them in man coverage a lot tonight, and that's something that we will see more and more of throughout the regular season, because it just gives this football team a better chance to get to the quarterback.
I think you're exactly right, Jade. We've seen a lot of single high safety and press coverage on the outside against these Lions wide receivers. And you know, Greg Williams does love to play a lot of press coverage, but he also plays a lot of two shell. Tonight he's getting an extra guy down in the box, and they're getting after the quarterback, Rudock, and forcing him to throw the football quicker than he would like.
Damari Scott fair catches the ball at the 12-yard line. That's where Baker Mayfield and the Browns will take over. 17-0. We aren't even at the halfway point of the 2nd quarter. So, as we take a look at how the Browns will start this 2018 regular season, 10 days from now, I think you can make a very strong case that that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers is the most important game that Hugh Jackson has coached to date. That's one that they really want to get.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jay. I don't think that's a stretch at all. I think this football team, for what they've been through the last 2 years, only winning 1 football game in 2 seasons, they need to get off to a good start. And man, are they going to face 2 tough quarterbacks to start the season, in Ben Roethlisberger and Drew Brees. And Ben is a guy who's only lost to Cleveland, twice in his entire career. So it's going to be a tough game right out of the block for this Browns team. But man, the way they've looked on defense so far this preseason, and some of these new playmakers they have on the offensive side of the ball, I think they're going to have a great shot at that one.
Well, Ben's 23-2 lifetime against the Browns.
Wow.
If you're looking for a win that would really jumpstart this team, that's it. So after the completion to Orson Charles, 2nd down and 3, the pitch goes to the left side. That's Hilliard for a pickup of perhaps 3 yards for the 1st down. Let's see where they mark it, and it is. Dustin?
Hey guys, we're talking about some of the defenses that Detroit's been playing against the Browns twos. And Bernie, you're seeing a little bit more tendencies here.
Yeah, Detroit's now starting to get a little bit of man coverage out there. They weren't at all happy with the lack of pressure. And Baker having so much time in the pocket. They're trying to get a little bit after the QB to make some more plays, because it's really bad from a defensive perspective watching right here.
Little man-to-man coverage from Detroit. Back to you guys.
Well, you'd think Matt Patricia, who is the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, has to be hating what he's seeing so far. Nice cut back there as Hilliard was running out of space as he approached the sidelines, but put his foot in the dirt, cut back in, and had a nice pickup there. Call it 5 to 6 yards. That'll bring up second down and 4.
We've seen Matt Days make a case for himself so far in this football game, but I'll tell you, Hilliard's made a case for himself as well. He's running the football very strong tonight, and neither one of these guys have gotten a lot of opportunities so far in the preseason. We've seen so much of Nick Chubb really in the preseason, and Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson, but a great opportunity for those two guys here tonight.
Second down 4, Mayfield to give to Hilliard, who gets caught and pulled down in the Browns' backfield. That is Eli Harold, who was just signed actually traded from the San Francisco 49ers. Nice play by Harold there to limit Hilliard to the loss. So prior to that play, Tim, the Browns had been outgaining the Lions 235 to 40.
Wow.
Thus the 17-0 score for the Cleveland Browns. Third down 7 now for Baker Mayfield, who has looked terrific here in his first NFL start. Mayfield with all kinds of time. Wow. Now flushes left, keeps it, flag down, and then hit and dropped out of bounds by the Lions defender. But let's sort out the flag. It's
going to be defensive holding on the Lions in the secondary that time. A lot of the Browns receivers were trying to do the scramble drill and get some separation back there, but one of the guys was held in the secondary.
Number 43, 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Boy, you can't ask for more time to throw the football, and then Baker showing that he can be elusive when he has to.
Yeah, he just moves around in the pocket. You know, he's not moving to run. He's moving to throw. And you see him work in between the tackles, and finally no one's open. He just tries to get out of the pocket and try to run for that first down. But, fortunately for the Browns, there was a holding in the secondary for the Lions and keeps this drive alive.
Dustin, what'd you see?
From our vantage point down here, he had Damari Scott run on an out cut. He was open, and I don't think he saw him because of the man coverage, and maybe a little bit, not to say nervous, Bernie, but this man coverage is a lot tighter than he's used to seeing in college.
Us quarterbacks don't like to use the word nervous, but tentative on a timing route. You don't want to throw off timing to the outside, a 10-yard speed out. If you throw it late, you risk the pick six possibility, and you don't want to come out and make those mistakes right now.
So the tighter coverage is something Baker's going to have to get used to as we go. Back to you guys.
All right, guys, thanks. Second down and 9 for this Browns offense, which is pretty much having their way with the Lions defense tonight, particularly early. Baker with 17 points in the Browns' first 3 possessions. 3 of 7 are the Browns on third down conversions. Mayfield over the middle, has his man, it's complete, and that is Damian Ratley. Good enough for a first down.
That was a big league throw that time. Baker gets a receiver right in the hole between the cover 2 defense and absolutely just drills it in the perfect spot before the safety can get over the top. That was an impressive throw by the young rookie Baker Mayfield.
So first down 10 now from the 46-yard line. And the Browns will keep it on the ground. Not much there, perhaps a pickup of 2. Ratley is a guy that we talked about as someone who the Browns are high on. He's a rookie out of Texas A&M, 6th-round draft choice. Very likely to stick around with this Browns receiving core, who, Tim, when you look, you get Josh Gordon back. You've got Jarvis Landry. Antonio Callaway shows the potential to be a big-time receiver.
Higgins
has, by all accounts, been the most improved player on this Browns staff among the young players year to year. This receiving group looks like they can make some plays against NFL defenses.
I think so. I think they've got a good mix of, some veteran guys. They've got some young guys that are stepping up. They've got big play guys. They've got some tall receivers that can go up and get those 50-50 balls. But, it's a huge game for some of these young guys, and they're starting to play well. The Ratley and Scott and Callaway, some of those guys that are trying to make a name for themselves on this football team are making plays in this game so far.
Big play here for Baker Mayfield and the Browns. 3rd down and 5. Maybe the last play before the 2-minute warning. Mayfield scrambling right, looking downfield, and throws incomplete. Cannot be brought down by Damari Scott before he falls out of bounds. So the Browns drive stalls. 4th down and 5. And on comes the punt team. I mentioned earlier the battle for the punter position, Britton Colquitt and Justin Vogel. Dustin, Bernie, guys, what do you got?
Well, I'm just going to be curious. I want to ask Bernie his thoughts here because the Browns decided to punt here in kind of that gray area. It'll be interesting to see if the Browns use their timeouts to try and get the ball back because this will be Baker's, most likely his last drive of the game. Want to see him in the 2-minute offense.
I think I'd love to see him in a 2-minute offense. More importantly, I think the coaches want to see him in a 2-minute offense. And Tim, let's get you on that telestrator to draw up that beautiful cover 2 throw in that fade that Baker made.
That was pretty sweet.
Oh, it was sweet, man. I watched that thing develop from up here, and it was perfect. I didn't know if he was going to let it go or not, but he let it go with perfect timing and accuracy and got it in there before the safety was able to come over and make a play on it.
I had the perfect angle on a 2 from the sideline, and it was a perfect dart.
Yeah, it was beautiful,
Baker
man. Beautiful.
So the Lions now with Matt Castle in at quarterback. And they'll be conservative, keeping it on the ground, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Dexter McDougal with the pickup of a couple. We've reached the 2-minute warning, 17-0. It's all Cleveland Browns. Celebrate its legends during its alumni weekend celebration. More than 125 Browns alumni and legends will participate, which this year will include a golf tournament. It's a visit to a private practice and a dinner where the 2 new legends members will be honored. So a quick injury update for you. James Burgess, who we saw go down a few plays ago, being evaluated for a concussion. CJ Board's return is questionable. 2nd down, 6 now for Matt Castle, who's in now for the Lions at quarterback. Castle over the middle, has his man. He takes it down to the 35, breaks a couple of tackles, and past the 40-yard line. So after the completion, the Browns with a chance to bring him down. Deron Smith and Mike Jordan carried for a couple of extra yards, and that probably means we won't see Baker and the Browns in a 2-minute offense.
Probably not, but you see Greg Williams change his defense now. The first play, he came out and played that single high press coverage, and the veteran quarterback was in the game that time, and he burned the Browns, so Greg Williams gets out of that and goes to a 2 shell on the next play.
Good pickup. Flag down on that play.
Holding, offense, number 77. 70, excuse me. 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
So Corey Robinson whistled for the hold. That will back the Lions up to the 33-yard line. 1:29 to go before halftime. I know sometimes preseason games can be a little tough to watch. If you're thinking about leaving us, you may want to stick around because in the 3rd quarter, we're going to be joined by Browns general manager John Dorsey. And Tim, I can't wait to talk to him about exactly what the next 48 to 72 hours will be like for the Browns. And I say 72 hours because it's not just about making the cuts to get it to 53. Then the real work begins because they start scouring the waiver wire for the nearly 1,200 players that will now be available. And Bernie pointed out earlier, the Browns have that first pick when it comes to the waiver wire. Bernie, that's going to be a job that I don't think the guys will get much sleep.
Well, they've been actually preparing on this for the last couple of weeks, doing their preparations of possible trades, possible guys getting cut. But the next, 72 to 96 hours, the personnel department isn't going to be getting any sleep. And we're going to have waiver claims to over 1,200 guys, it looks like.
So Matt Castle with another completion, that one to Dontez Ford, and the Lions now have it at the 39-yard line. Castle looking very much like a veteran, that time flushed out of the pocket and knocked to the ground by Nate Orchard, who loves to get after quarterbacks.
Yeah, Castle's looked like veteran quarterback's supposed to look in these preseason games. He came out from the get-go. He saw the man coverage, he hit the big crossing route across the middle, and now he's just moving this football team, and he's definitely put a little juice in this offense since he entered the game.
3 of 4, 54 yards. Matt Castle, you look at his numbers, he's had a terrific career. Been around for a while. Everyone remembers the year Brady went down and Castle was able to keep the Patriots ship afloat. Another completion. And that time, it is Denzel Rice on the tackle. So we saw Rice earlier locking up the gunner for the Lions on special teams that time doing a good job chasing down the receiver, Billingsley, and bringing him to the ground. So the Lions now will use a timeout. 39 seconds to go, as Detroit would love to try to put points on the board here before we hit the half. And we mentioned that backup quarterback job for the Lions. Matt Castle, the veteran. Rudock, the rookie from Michigan, who played really well against the Buccaneers in victory last week, brought them from behind to get their first win of this preseason. But when you watch the two, Castle's jumping right out as the clear-cut backup right now to Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, definitely so. Castle's getting rid of the football extremely quick. The Browns can't get to him. It seemed like Rudock was holding the ball a little longer. The Browns were able to get a pass rush, and when Rudock was in the game, the Lions only had 2 first downs, and both of those were the result of a Browns penalty. And as soon as Castle comes into the game, he's starting to move this offense.
6 plays, 58 yards. Castle this time has it picked off by Nate Orchard. Orchard down the left side. No one's going to catch him. So it's a pick 6 for the Browns defense, who make it 23-0 just before halftime. So a terrific play. The pick 6 covers 70 yards, and that's one of those plays that we talk about, Tim. Youngsters trying to make an impression, to make a team. I think Orchard just did right there.
I think so. I don't know what much more he can do to make this football team. He struggled a little bit here in the preseason, but man, what a play that time. This drive was moving right down the field. Castle had these guys going. Orchard comes out of nowhere to pick that ball off and shows a little speed down the sideline too for a big guy, huh?
70 yards on the touchdown, and good for Nate Orchard. What a terrific catch. He's 10 yards away from Castle, who's throwing it on a line. I think Orchard's done some jugs work.
No doubt. It looks like he's played a little running back, at some point, maybe high school or something. He was getting it down the sideline.
Well, we saw he was a focus by the Hard Knocks crew, particularly in preseason game number 2, where he missed a couple of plays early on, and the Hard Knocks cameras were focused on Nate's family in the stands, and clearly he was disappointed up to that point. But that's the kind of play that stands out when coaches are evaluating who stays and who goes. And I'm sure if their decision wasn't already made, that's going to make things even more difficult, because that's a big-time football play.
That was a heck of a play.
So it looks like Matt Castle's going to drive the Lions for points. Instead, it's 23-0, and you can thank Baker Mayfield for 17 of those points. Tim, he has been on point moving this Browns offense.
He wasted no time getting started. Hit Devin Kajus on the first play of the game just to get going. He's been delivering the football all around the field. He's got his tight ends involved, his wide receivers dumping the ball down to his running backs. He's played an excellent game here in his first NFL start.
And he's back out on the field as the Browns will go for 2 here. So a nice opportunity for Todd Haley to work on some of those 2-point plays. Mayfield flushed out of the pocket, does a nice job to complete the pass, but it is not going to make it to the end zone. Derek Willis is pulled down short of the goal line, but pulled everything. Flag on the field.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 55. Half the distance to the goal line, and we'll retry.
All right, so Cleveland will get another shot at it here.
See Freeney at the end of that play just driving his body weight into the quarterback. You're not allowed to do that. That's the flag. They're going to throw that every time. They're protecting these quarterbacks, and Baker just trying to scramble out of there. And lucky he landed on that right shoulder pretty hard. Baker's lucky he didn't injure himself on that play.
Well, you'd hate to see an injury to Mayfield on a 2-point conversion try in the 4th preseason game. He was thrown to the turf pretty hard. But the Browns will get another shot now, and they'll do it from the 1-yard line. And they have a full house backfield here, and another flag on the play.
"12 men in formation on defense. Half the distance to the goal line. Retry the down."
Okay, so they'll try it now from the half-yard line. Orson Charles is in at fullback. And we talk about versatility all the time when it comes time to make cuts. The more you can do, the better chance you have of sticking around. Here's a guy who's a tight end, but he's in the fullback formation now. Danny Vitale hasn't played much yet because of the injury. The give is to the second back through, and Hilliard powers his way into the end zone behind the block from Orson Charles. So Cleveland converts on the 2-point try, making it 25-0. It's been an offensive explosion, and then a nice pick six from Nate Orchard and the Browns defense. 25-0 Cleveland. Dustin, Bernie, this is how you want to end the preseason.
No doubt about it. And we talked about the Browns probably wanted to get Baker back on the field for that 2-minute drive. One more series before you end the first half, because he's not going to see much action in the regular season unless there's an injury to Tyrod. So they put Baker back in for the 2-point play. Think it was a good call, Bern?
Well, it was a good call that he didn't hurt his right shoulder.
But just to see a little bit more action of him, and guys, number 6 may be on the bench for a while.
Yeah, who knows when we'll see Baker Mayfield again. As Tim pointed out in the open, 10 days from now, this is very much Tyrod Taylor's team, and barring anything that's unforeseen at this point, it's going to stay his team for a while. So the Browns kick taken out of the end zone by the Lions return man, and he brings it up to the 15-yard line. Brandon Powell is brought down there, and you would think here that the Lions would snap the ball and cut their losses and head to halftime down 25-0.
Yeah, I would think so, Jay. I don't think they're going to force the issue here at all, especially at this on this part of the field.
As you look at Tyrod's passer rating over the last 3 seasons in Buffalo, best in Bills history. They had a pretty good one that played there, Jim Kelly. So Castle hands the ball off, and that should do it. It's been all Cleveland Browns in the first half from Ford Field in Detroit, as they look to slingshot into the regular season. A victory here tonight would give the Browns a 3-1 preseason record. We're not going to put too much stock into that. We all remember what happened last year when they went 4-0 and then went into the regular season finishing without a win. So those that have made it to Ford Field, sending their Lions players to the locker room with a smattering of boos. It has been all Cleveland, offensively and defensively. John Doss, I imagine Hugh Jackson's a happy man right now.
Yeah, Coach, Baker Mayfield making his first career start. You got to be happy with the way the rookie continued to move that team downfield in the first half.
Oh, no, he can make plays. I'm not surprising by what he's done. He's done a good job. We're just getting too many penalties as a football team.
It hasn't mattered who's on the field defensively. You guys picked up tonight where you left off against Philadelphia last week.
No, that's good to see. You know, anytime we can get turnovers and keep knocking the ball out, that's what we have to do. That's going to be good for us heading into the season.
Coach, thank you very much. Tim, Jay, back to you guys.
John, thank you very much. 25-0, the Cleveland Browns leading the Detroit Lions. Stick around. Third quarter is going to be fun. John Dorsey will take us through what the next couple of days will be like for the Browns as they cut this roster down to 53 by Saturday at 4. 4-0. It's been all Cleveland Browns. The first 3 offensive possessions by Baker Mayfield put points on the board, a couple of touchdowns and a field goal. Then things got a little sluggish on both ends. And then the pick 6 just before halftime from Nate Orchard. I don't know that you can ask for a better final preseason game than what we've seen so far.
I don't think so, both offensively and defensively. Baker Mayfield in this offense, they got off to a great start. The defense have done what they've done the entire preseason in keeping the Detroit Lions out of the end zone. But it was a great start on both sides of the ball for this Cleveland Browns football team.
I loved yesterday talking to the offensive coaches. This is something that I think is going to resonate for a while. They believe that this unit can score points. There's confidence in these players. And even though it was a mix of 1s and 2s for Baker, they played very well. Antonio Callaway, who's a guy that will see a lot of time for the Browns this year, didn't catch a pass in the first half. Nick Chubb looked good running the ball. But really, it was Mayfield going through his progression, finding the open receiver, scrambling when he needed to. Just really looked poised out there, Tim.
He looked really poised, and what I like, Jay, is how he was distributing the football to all his guys, getting everyone involved. We saw Kajus get involved early. We saw the running backs get involved. He got the wide receivers involved. He made good decisions with the football, throwing it down the field and taking care of it and throwing away when nothing was there.
Well, let's take a look at Tim's favorite play from the first half. There was a lot to choose from here, Tim, but this one stood out.
Yeah, I like this play here. Look at number 45, the safety down here in the box. It looks like a single high safety look to Baker Mayfield, but at the snap, they roll back to a cover 2, and Baker Mayfield sees that. He still has enough arm strength to zip that football in before the safety can come over the top.
So the second half is underway. The Browns kick goes into the end zone, and the Detroit Lions will take over to start the second half. After failing to put points on the board, it looked like Matt Castle was going to lead the team down the field for some kind of points before the 64-yard kick 6 from Nate Orchard. First half stats, take your pick. They all look good for the Cleveland Browns. Most of those 105 passing yards came late in that second quarter, but again failed to produce points. So now Matt Castle in, and likely will be for the remainder of the game. That give goes to the right side. A nice run there by Lions running back Dwayne Washington, who's looked pretty good here for Detroit tonight. Tiggy Sanko in on the stop there. So, aside from what we're seeing tonight on the field, most of the Browns' work that's going to be done over the next couple of days will be done by the coaches and the front office personnel deciding who stays, who goes. And right now, joining us in the press box is none other than the man who's put together a good piece of this football team, Browns general manager John Dorsey. John, thanks so much for coming up. It's good to see you.
Sure, Tim, good to see you.
Good to see you too, John.
So we talk about the process of getting this group down, and we know you made a couple of cuts already, but you've got to get it down to 53, and it's got to be there by Saturday at 4. Take us through that process. What will go on? How does this happen?
Well, starting tomorrow, we'll sit as a coaching staff and the personnel staff, get together, kind of review the game. Then we'll have the coaches a chance to talk about their positions, the players, and kind of just, let's talk through the 53. And then the personnel staff will talk through it. And then after that, then Hugh and I will kind of sit down with ownership and kind of say, this is where we think we're going to go with this 53 roster. Right now, the way the guys are playing the game tonight, it's going to make it really difficult.
Well, I guess that's a good problem to have. Am I right, John?
Yes.
That's a problem that you want.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
No, it
that's
is.
a good problem to
well,
have.
It's part of the plan. As we unfolded this thing in January and February, we got together and we identified things that we needed to do. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to make every position competitive going into training camp, and the guys are really competing off today.
Well, Go ahead, Tim.
I'm sorry, John. When you first got here, you guys had so much salary cap space. And you went out and you hit almost every position group on this team, bringing in new talent to compete. But there's an art to that. You don't want to go out and blow all that money, but you want to be aggressive also and go out and bring that talent here. How do you balance that?
Well, we were very selective in how we were going to approach free agency, and we thought we wanted to identify certain core players from different organizations that may actually help every realm. And we identified certain realms that we wanted to have players in free agency, and right now we're still number one in the cap space in the NFL.
Which is another luxury to have, particularly as you move forward. Castle looking to throw. That one is almost intercepted. The ball skipped on the turf before being ruled incomplete, and that was Thomas on the play. So we were talking yesterday with Hugh about some of these groups that are going to be very difficult when it comes down to paring down the final roster. Do you have? Is there one unit that's going to be especially difficult from your point of view, from what you've seen so far?
Well, the linebackers will be tough. The defensive line will be tough. I think the corners have been very competitive. The offensive line's going to be tough. I mean, they're all very tough. Tim, as you well know, to me, this is one of the toughest things that we do as an organization is have to, tell young men that, they're not going to be a Cleveland Brown anymore. So I've always emphasized with the guy, handle this with dignity and pride, because these guys have put in sweat equity. And, you want them to leave feeling well that they've actually did everything within their power to actually try to make this team.
Absolutely, John. And, I know everyone is looking for the for the quick fix to fix this football team with the issues they've had the last couple years. And, but I know for you personally, you're projecting out big picture. What do you think? You think 3-4 years to make this a consistent winner?
Well, I've always said, I've talked to ownership and I've talked to the coaching staff. I feel that it takes 3 years to really build that solid foundation to continue this thing the way you want to do it. Because I've always said, you can build a team or you can build a program. I'd like to build a program that can extend out a decade. I mean, that's what you're looking for.
Well, back to the action there on the muffed punt recovered by the Lions. So Detroit will keep it now 1st and 10. From the Browns' 25-yard line. So that's one of those situations where the ball is bouncing. You want everybody to get clear. It didn't happen. The ball bounced off the Browns defender and back into the Detroit Lions. So, John, you mentioned that all of these positions are going to be difficult. One of the things that we heard yesterday from Brian Calhoun was he said that because Jarvis Landry has sort of pushed all of the receivers, nice play there by Chris Smith, pushed all of the receivers to after practice every day, stay an extra 30 minutes and catch extra balls. He said now the defensive backs are staying every day after practice to work on with the jugs and to catch extra passes because they don't want to lose those 50-50 balls in practice. By bringing in a guy like Jarvis, who not only teaches the receivers how to compete, that's spreading through the defense now too. You have to love that mentality.
Well, that's what you want. You want those leaders to set the bar within that locker room. And that's what we talk about, doing the little things, being the total professional, loving the game of football, and that's doing those little extra things that we keep talking about. And, slowly as training camp has gone along, these young guys have begun to buy into, God, if this guy's doing it and he's successful, maybe I should be doing it. So that's called veteran leadership, and that's where those guys will set the bar up there where the young guys follow.
John, I know you drafted guy #1 overall in Baker Mayfield. The expectation level for him is extremely high, but has he exceeded even your expectations already so far in this preseason?
Not really. I mean,
you knew he was going to do that.
Well, no, he still has a lot of football to learn. But you know what? The 4 preseason games he's played, I've been very, very proud of him, and he still has a lot of football left in this.
Castle now on 3rd and long, flushed out of the pocket, and that one is batted down and will fall incomplete. So Jeremy Fault putting pressure on the quarterback. As we've watched tonight, and I know it's the last preseason game, but the guys on the Lions are fighting for jobs too.
They are.
They're playing for something as well. The Browns have been very successful offensively and defensively. This is a good way to wrap up the preseason. You have to be impressed by what you're watching so far.
Yeah, but as I look at this thing, are they exponentially growing every week in every game? And I think they've taken a step preseason 1, 2, 3, and 4. And, that's all you can ask for with these guys.
The field goal is up and good from Ryan Santoso, so that puts the Lions on the board. We're going to take a break. John's going to stick around. We're going to talk much more about the Cleveland Browns. 25-3 Browns as the Lions turn that muffed punt into a field goal. But look at that scoring drive. 4 plays, -4 yards. The defense really has done everything that you would want a defense to do in the final preseason game. Jay Crawford, Tim Couch, along with Browns general manager John Dorsey. So, John, one of the things that you wanted to do immediately when you came in was to improve this football team and also improve the culture. As it pertains to the culture, what changes have you seen since you've been here?
Well, I mean, come into work every day. Be ready to roll your sleeve up. Have no ego whatsoever. Let's go have fun. It's football. Let's go have fun. But let's remember the task at hand. That's what it's all about. You got to come in every day and work on those little things to succeed for the next day.
Bernie, Dustin.
Hi, Mr. Dorsey.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Boss.
We
Hi,
hanging
guys.
in?
Yep.
Hey, John, we were talking before the game down here on the sidelines just about the team coming together, and you build that camaraderie during training camp and everything, and you seem to be pretty happy about how things have progressed with the guys in building that team culture.
Well, I've always said that, like, my favorite day of the year is going to training camp and just kind of see the team begin to mold, and then towards the end of training camp, like right now, to see the guys how far they've come from the beginning to the end of training camp. And I think the veteran leaderships have, they've set those bars. They set that bar so high. And the young guys, they have come and worked every day to try to reach that standard that those veterans have. Nice throw.
Brogan Roback into the game now, completes it to Damari Scott over the 50-yard line onto the 45 of the Detroit Lions. Here's a young man that you have to be pretty impressed with what he's been able to put together so far.
We all knew he was athletic. His arm is a little bit stronger than we thought it was. I think the coaches have done a great job in just trying to build his confidence, and he's grasped everything and he's having fun. He's making plays when he's out there.
Dustin?
Mr. Dorsey, I have Mr. Kosar here to talk about making these roster cuts over the weekend.
Well, I hope you sleep on the bus on the way back with us. I'll try not to talk to you because I know what you'll be doing for the next 96 hours.
Oh, it's all good.
Take us through the next 96 hours, John. Will you get any sleep over the next couple of days?
No, we'll get a little sleep. I mean, we'll get back tonight, or tomorrow morning sometime. We'll be in the office by 7 a.m. We'll sit there, watch the film, get ready for the meeting with the coaches and the personnel, and then begin the difficult task of beginning to start to let players go. But in the meantime, you're also monitoring other players that are out there in the NFL, and you're trying to keep them that organized, and just so you know when it comes time for Saturday night, you're going to have a late night Saturday night into Sunday morning, and you'll probably review 150 players to see if you really want to improve your roster and acquire those players on the waivers.
Roback's pass there, in and out of the hands of Browns receiver Jeff Janis. Hey, Dustin, one more, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, John.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Khalil Mack?
Well, he's. I'm not allowed to talk about another team's player. Last I saw, he's with the Oakland Raiders.
Nice try, player,
well
Dustin.
Well
player. Nice try. Very nice try. So, a big third down here for Brogan Roback. 3rd down and 12 against this Lions defense. Wants to throw. Plenty of time as that Browns offensive line has done just a terrific job blocking whoever is in the game against them tonight, and he's going to wisely throw that one away, and that'll bring up 4th down. So you said that you're not at all surprised by what Baker Mayfield has been able to do on the field. You expected that. When you drafted him, John, did you know that he was a master impersonator? Did you have any idea that he could do this? Watch. Well, we'll do it after the punt. Colquitt trying to get it inside the 20. And he does. Fair caught inside the 10. That's where the Lions will take over. John, we're going to ask you to stick around through the commercial because we just absolutely have to get your response to Baker Mayfield's fantastic John Dorsey impersonation.
It was pretty good. Heck of a football player.
In case you missed the last episode of Hard Knocks, Baker Mayfield, we knew he could play football, but who knew he could do this? Watch.
See, being a Cleveland Brown is way more than just playing football. It's about being an elf. It's about coming to work every day with your hard hat and your Air Dorseys and your sweater. And you strap on those shoes and you go to work.
He really is a good football player.
All he had to do was shave and it would have been perfect.
Oh no! I mean, the one thing he probably said I didn't like it, but I thought it was pretty good.
But it's not over, is it?
No, it's not over.
So he needs to look over his shoulder. You're going to get him back.
It could be 2 years. It could be 2 weeks.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Well, it was big fun, and it's obvious from watching that this team is gelling together from a chemistry standpoint too. And I know, from a general manager standpoint, when you bring all these players in from all these backgrounds, you never know how that part of it's going to work. At least so far, it looks like it's a huge success. John, thanks so much for making time for us. I know the next couple of days are going to be difficult on you and the staff. We hope you get through it well, and then on to Pittsburgh to start the season.
Let's get ready to go play the Steelers.
By the way, I don't know who's going to get a chewing gum endorsement first, you or Terry Francona. I don't know who chews more gum between the two of you guys.
I'm out. Goodbye, boys. I'll see y'all.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
John, thank you very much.
Sure.
General Manager of the Cleveland Browns, John Dorsey. And Tim, we talk about bringing talent together from a team standpoint. You want to hit all of the nails that you need to hit, but you also hope that when you bring these guys together that they mesh, and they really do seem to like one another so far. It looks like it's a good group all the way around.
Yeah, I think it's much more than talent, Jay. You know, you can go out and pick a talented player and bring him in here, but it's more about how does he fit with your football team and what you're trying to do schematically, offensively and defensively, and does that player fit that system, and does he fit in with the other players on the team?
So the Browns defense with another 3 and out, and that will bring out the Lions punt team. I want to bring on Bernie Kosar now for a second, because Bernie, you talk about the chemistry and how that's the great unknown in football. You spend a lot of time around these guys. What's your take on how they've meshed together as a team so far?
You know, that's one of the fun things I've had being around here these 4 preseason games. These guys genuinely care about each other. It's not really false enthusiasm. It's a genuine care. You can just see with the later round guys here, the intensity and enthusiasm out there, the high five, and it's fun to watch.
That it is. Damari Scott fumbles the punt but recovers it. The Browns will take over when we come back, leading 25-3. In an effort to improve school attendance, shoes and clothes for kids and Browns give back. Teamed up to provide uniforms to Cleveland Metropolitan School District students through the Special Teams Packages program. 6,000 clothing packages will be delivered to CMSD students in the continued effort to break down the barriers to attending school. 25-3. It's been all Cleveland Browns. Brogan Roback now into the game, and we're going to talk about him and his chances here throughout the second half. Has time, has Damari Scott, but underthrows the receiver, and the ball falls to the turf. He had him for a touchdown if he throws it.
Yeah, he had him. He just got to put the football out there. Scott had at least 2 steps on the defender.
Let's go down to Dustin.
Hey guys, just a quick injury update. Wide receiver CJ Board left the game with a shoulder injury, and linebacker James Burgess was evaluated for a concussion on the sidelines. Both players have been ruled out.
Dustin, thanks. Second down 10 now for the Browns. Roback with a single setback. And the give goes to Dontrell Hilliard. Not much happening there. Tim, I thought one of the most prophetic things perhaps said yesterday in all of our conversations and meetings with the Browns players and coaches came from receivers coach Adam Henry when he dropped this little bit of wisdom on us. He said as he was leaving the meeting room, everything is etched in sand.
Very true. Very true.
And what he was saying is, look, there are jobs that will be won and lost here in preseason game number 4. And we saw Jeff Janis drop a ball earlier. It's a guy that contributed greatly to the Packers in their playoff run a couple of years ago. fighting for a spot here. Roback deep into double coverage, overshoots his man. That was Damian Ratley downfield in double coverage. What do you make of that throw, Tim, the decision to throw into that coverage?
Well, he forced that football. He's struggling just a little bit getting the ball out on time. You know, he had Scott a few plays earlier open for a touchdown. He didn't throw it in time. The ball came up a little bit short. And, you know, you see Hugh Jackson tell him, you know, just get that football out a little bit quicker. And, you know, don't make that kind of throw. If you're scrambling around in the pocket, get outside of the tackle box where you can throw that football away. Don't throw it into double coverage.
So Justin Vogel hits a high punt that is caught and brought down right at the 10-yard line. On the special teams play is where the Detroit Lions will take over when we come back from Ford Field. It's been all Browns and
Welcome back to Detroit, where the Browns are on top 25-3. And we want to remind you that Where I'm From Apparel has teamed up with the Cleveland Browns again this year with a prize pack valued at $5,000. We'll give you a chance to win this grand prize. It includes 6 lower-level club tickets, with access to the Spectacular Cardiac Club, which entitles you to an all-you-can-eat and drink, including alcohol before, during, and after the game. Additionally, you'll receive a private Browns facility tour, 2 signed mini helmets, and a $500 Where I'm From gift card. To enter, visit promotions.clevelandbrowns.com. Again, that's promotions.clevelandbrowns.com. All right. Welcome back to Detroit, where the Browns are on top 25-3. And I want to remind you that Where I'm From Apparel has teamed up with the Cleveland Browns again this year to give you a grand prize opportunity valued at over $5,000. That grand prize includes 6 lower-level club tickets with access to the Spectacular Cardiac Club, which entitles you to an all-you-can-eat and all-you-drink, including alcohol before, during, and after the game. Additionally, you'll receive a private Browns facility tour, 2 signed mini helmets, and a $500 Where I'm From gift card. To enter, visit promotions.clevelandbrowns.com. It's promotions.clevelandbrowns.com.
Back to live action. Thank you, Dustin. And that's going to be a short gain for Dwayne Washington. And we saw Matt Castle for a little bit towards the end of the first half, and now they've decided to go back to Jake Rudock. What do you make of that?
Well, I think they know what they have in Matt Castle, a 14-year veteran in the NFL, and he came in and he played well. He moved this offensive unit before he threw the pick 6 to Orchard. But they're just trying to get Rudock back in the game and see if he can have a little success, build his confidence a little bit. He was only 6 out of 12 for 42 yards in that first half, so they're trying to put him back in and see if he can get some completions.
It's the quick slant for a pickup that will be just shy of the first down. That is Marcus Lucas on the reception. Detroit 1-2 in this preseason. We talk about Matt Patricia, who comes over from the Patriots, where he's been for the last 14 seasons with that Bill Belichick staff. The last 6 years, he was the defensive coordinator. Last year, the Lions just figuring that they had a little more talent than the results at the end of the season showed. So on that play, the Browns defense again comes in and will force another 3-and-out. That's a theme that we've seen throughout this game, and we saw it last week, Tim, against the Eagles, and we saw it to start the second preseason game against the Bills. This defense, and I know we're looking at backups, but a lot of folks will tell you in the NFL, it's not just the ones that you win with. You win with the 2s and the 3s because that's your depth. That tells you where you stand from a depth standpoint. And this team seems to have plenty of it.
No question. This team, this defensive unit, they take on the personality of Greg Williams. They fly around. They're aggressive. They're getting after the quarterback. They're disruptive in the backfield, blowing plays up, and they've done it all preseason long.
Damari Scott takes that low line drive punt and returns it to the 43-yard line. Make it the 44, and they'll take over now with Brogan Roback in at quarterback. So we talked earlier about the importance of that opening game, and it's against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger 23-2 in his career against the Cleveland Browns. You can't overstate it when you say this is a really big deal for Hugh Jackson in this version of the Cleveland Browns. Flag on the play. Is not much happening there with Hilliard keeping it on the ground. And then in the second half of the season, the Browns have one of the tougher schedules as we move into the 2018 season.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Defense, number 58, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You look at the games against the Falcons, the divisional game against the Bengals, the Panthers, certainly a tough foe, the Broncos. This is a difficult
tough
schedule for these Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, it's important they get off to a quick start in the season. You know, like we talked about earlier, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints the first 2 weeks, and man, you just got to win at least one of those games. You can't start the season 0-2 for this football team.
So 1st and 10 from midfield for Brogan Roback and the Browns. He wants to throw off the play fake. And it looked like Scott may have been hit before the ball got to him, and the flag is out now, and that's exactly what happens on that play. So the pass interference will move the chains again. He throws a nice ball.
He does throw a nice ball, and he's starting to see the field a little better that time, anticipating that crossing route, and Scott almost made a play, but pass interference broke the pass out.
Interference. Defense, number 46. Ball is placed as a spot on the foul. Automatic first down.
So Roback moves the Browns up to the 28-yard line. We talked about the Browns defense 4 times tonight. They have forced the Lions on a 3-and-out. Roback to throw, all kinds of time, has a man, but at the last second the pass is broken up. Nice defensive play there by the Lions. There was some separation, but it closed quickly.
It did close quickly, but you can see here a crossing route coming right across your screen, right to left. Roback just a little late again on the throw, just holding the football a little bit. You got to put that ball up, give him a chance to run under it. But I'll tell you one thing about Brogan Roback, he's not scared to throw the football down the field. It seems like every time he drops back, man, he's trying to push it down the field. I like his aggressiveness.
Let's talk about the Browns quarterback situation. Tim, is it possible that they would keep Roback on the practice squad? That would be 4 quarterbacks.
You know, I think it is possible. You know, you look at the Browns quarterback situation, you're talking about Tyrod Taylor on a 1-year deal. Baker Mayfield, obviously the future of this organization. Drew Stanton is in his 12th year. How much longer is he going to play? So do they develop that young quarterback and Brogan Roback and put him on the practice squad and see what they have in him? You know, if they like him enough, they can certainly do that.
Well, let's go down to Dustin and Bernie. Guys, 4 quarterbacks seems like a lot. It's possible.
I think it's possible, and one of the reasons why I think it is possible with Brogan Roback is because they like him so much. He's done such a good job. He's animated, but he also keeps the room loose. But I think it's going to be tough. I mean, Bernie, 4 quarterbacks on a roster, that's a lot.
Well, it's not going to happen by Saturday at 4 o'clock. For Brogan to make the practice squad, he got a clear waiver, so he'll probably have to be released. We have too much depth on our team to be able to carry 4 quarterbacks. It's actually hard carrying 3.
As much as you like Brogan Roback, I think it's going to be tough for him to make the squad, but he's shown a lot of talent throughout preseason. A terrific college career at Eastern Michigan. But man, 4 quarterbacks is tough, especially when you only get 10 guys rather on the practice squad. Do you want to really give one of those spots to a quarterback? What do you guys think?
Well, it is tough. Tim, we were talking earlier, the Lions likely will only keep 2, and that's a number that you'll see a number of teams carry.
I think for Brogan, though, you know, the thing is he's getting an opportunity to play a whole half of football here. He hasn't seen much action so far in the preseason, so he's auditioning for the other teams in the league and see if he can catch on. You know, if the Browns release him, he can get an opportunity to catch on somewhere else. He certainly has the physical tools. You know, he's 6'3", 215 pounds. He's got prototypical NFL quarterback size. He's got a better arm than you think he does, and he's obviously aggressive pushing the football down the field. So I think he has a future in this league.
Former Eastern Michigan product, playing, I'm sure, in front of plenty of friends and family. Played his college football not far from here. So they're not going to give Brogan a chance to make a play there, staying conservative, keeping it on the ground. And you can see the sign there yesterday was Brogan's birthday. As I mentioned, friends and families. 24 years old, young guy, athletic, and showed a little bit of personality in the Hard Knock series.
The official refrigerator stocker of the RV, huh?
That's exactly
it's an
right.
important job, though, man.
So Zane Gonzalez, who wins the kicking competition, on to try a 45-yard field goal. Had a rough start to his NFL career, but came on late in the second half last season and just does squeak that one inside the left upright. So Gonzalez, perfect on the night. And that stretches the score now to 28-3. If you're wondering how the 28 came about, the Browns converted on a 2-point conversion, throwing a couple of field goals and touchdowns, and there you have it. So Bernie said something that I want to come back to, Tim. Said the Browns just have too much depth on this team to carry 4 quarterbacks. That hasn't always been the case. No. This team seems to have made that first step, which sometimes can be the most difficult when you're trying to dig out of the trench that this franchise has been in. It seems on the surface, and we don't want to be too premature here because it is just the preseason, but when you look at the roster and you look at the depth, am I overstating it that they've made that all-important first step towards turning the corner?
No, I don't think you're overstating it at all. And, you know, just John Dorsey, I think it's the John Dorsey effect. When he came to Cleveland, he really addressed every position group on the field. He revamped the entire secondary, bringing new guys in, added some depth at linebacker, on the defensive line, the offensive line, running backs, a whole new quarterback group, some good young wide receivers. So there is a lot of depth on this football team. And, you know, we talked about earlier in the open, Jay, that, you know, the last 2 years when the Browns would cut guys, no one would pick them up. That's not going to be the case this year. There's some talented football players that aren't going to make this football team, but they're going to catch on somewhere else in the league.
Well, this Browns scoring drive brought to you by Speedway, the official convenience store of the Cleveland Browns. 5 plays, 28 yards, took 228. Gonzalez capped it with the 45-yarder, taking us to 28-3 now as the final couple minutes of the third quarter tick away. Rudock with the give. There's some space on that right side, but quickly closed by that Browns defense, who's quick to pursuit. That was Justin Curry on the play, and we've seen him throughout camp and throughout his snaps in preseason have a nose for the football. He gets to it.
I like his game a lot. I really do. He's a converted safety. He's down in the box playing linebacker this year, but he brings some physicality, man. You know, for a converted safety, he's not afraid to come up and hit you. He has the speed, obviously, as a former DB, to go sideline to sideline. He's got coverage skills, and he's a good, solid football player.
So the Lions, again, trying to convert a first down, and again, it's that Browns defense standing up. That is Grace on the tackle, and we mentioned that Jermaine Grace is one of those guys probably fighting with Burgess and Bello and Curry to try to make this team as a linebacker. John Doss has an update for us. John, what do you have?
Hey guys, we're joined now by tight end David Njoku. David, I don't imagine that you get many chances these days to be a spectator. You did tonight. You like what you see out there on the field from the guys that are trying to make this roster?
Yeah, definitely. You know, everyone's working very hard. You know, it's team tackling, you know, like the offense, great blocking, great catching, you know, great run after the catch, and great ball security. You know, I'm really happy for this team.
Tyrod Taylor's the starting quarterback for this football team, but Baker Mayfield got the first start of his career tonight, marched that team up and down the field there in the first half. You got to like what you saw from the rookie quarterback tonight.
Of course. You know, he showed a lot of heart. He's a very smart quarterback. Just played great. Obviously, as you see, 28-3. So we're really excited for that, and we're just going to keep seeing him work.
I know that in many ways you guys have already moved on to Pittsburgh, but you're now about 17 minutes away from officially moving on to the Steelers next weekend. Do you like where this team is at now 4 preseason games later?
Yes, sir. I do. I really do. You know, we've put in so much work in camp and the past 4 preseason games, you know, so we're really excited to finally play a game that actually counts.
Tight end David Njoku. David, thank you very much. J10, back to you guys.
All right, John, thank you very much. As you look at his numbers from a season ago, you know, we talk about guys that could have breakout years. And Higgins is a guy who certainly comes to mind. He certainly has been improved as a wide receiver. But Njoku is a guy who could really burst onto the national stage as a reliable pass catcher and a guy that when he catches the ball in space, Tim, he is a mismatch waiting to happen when a defensive back is charged with bringing him down in the open field.
There's no question, Jay. He's a potential superstar in this league. And, you know, he just has to develop more consistent hands, and I think he's been working very, very hard on that throughout training camp, throughout the offseason. And he's had a great preseason. You know, the first game of the preseason against the Giants, he goes and catches 2 great touchdown passes, one from Tyrod Taylor, one from Baker Mayfield. So he's ready to play this season. I can't wait to see what he does in this Todd Haley offense.
Matthew Days with the carry. Pickup of 4.
I have it back now.
So Days is a guy that we talked about coming in, fighting for that last spot at running back with Dontrell Hilliard. He's had a terrific night, including the long touchdown run. You'd think that his spot tonight is secure.
I think so. If not with the Cleveland Browns, someone's picking him up. He's obviously has some big time skills, and he can run the football. Obviously, he can catch it out of the backfield. He's made some catches early in the football game, and he's an all-around complete back from what I see. And he hasn't had much of an opportunity in the preseason, but he's getting his chance tonight, and he's looked really good.
Well, you talk about the complement of backs. Certainly Duke Johnson, who is one of the best pass-catching backs in the NFL. Carlos Hyde comes over, and here's a guy who you tend to think of as being an older player because he's been in the league for a few years, but he's not. Still has plenty of miles left on the tires. And Nick Chubb. So you talk about upgrading the receiver spot. This is a group that looks like they'll be able to move the ball.
Oh, I love this running back group. Like you said, Jay, all talented guys, all guys that can contribute in different ways. And you know, they upgraded so many positions on this team. We talked about the quarterbacks bringing all new guys in from a year ago, and that position is certainly upgraded, but the running back position is as well.
So the drive for the Browns comes to a stall. Browns will punt it away as we're getting close now to the end of the third quarter. High spiraling punt, returnable for the Lions, but quickly closed on, and that's another terrific special teams play. Campbell is down there to make the stop. I believe McKinnon was also there.
McKinnon's had a nice game on special teams and on defense. He's making a case to make this football team.
I mentioned earlier, ESPN counted down the greatest high school athletes of all time. I just want to go back to that because I'm sure folks were scurrying to their computer to Google it. Is that right? I actually covered Tim as a high school athlete in my first job in Eastern Kentucky when he was in the 8th grade playing varsity basketball. And his older brother Greg was a terrific athlete, played quarterback at EKU for legendary Roy Kidd. And folks basically said, this guy's going to be his terrific football player, but he's a better basketball player. And we're going to talk more about that when we start the fourth quarter. I bring all of that up because you don't get a bobblehead unless you've done something in this world.
There he is again.
Look at the head shake.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him. He's downtown.
He is all
just chilling,
around
baby.
Motown.
That's right. Hair game is strong.
Welcome back to Detroit, Ford Field, where the Cleveland Browns have had their way with the Detroit Lions. 28-3 is our score here in preseason game number 4, and barring a comeback of epic proportions, the Browns will run into the regular season with a preseason record of 3-1. Rudolph to throw. Underthrows his man, but the flag comes out. They're going to whistle pass interference on Simeon Thomas.
Pass interference, defense number 33. Ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
1-on-1 at the top of your screen. Simeon Thomas in good position here on this route. He just gets his head around a little late and panics a little bit and grabs the receiver, and that's an obvious pass interference.
We talk about the Browns opening their regular season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh doing a number on Carolina in their preseason finale tonight, leading the Panthers 30-7. It's the Steelers. You don't have to get up for that. That ball is dropped by Ford. Had some room to run too. Tim, that's not a game that you have to get up for. Ordinarily, it's your arch rival. But boy, you could make a case that this is one of the biggest games we've played against the Steelers in a very long time because of what it means to Hugh Jackson and the start of his 3rd season here in Cleveland. You've got New Orleans in week 2, another Hall of Fame quarterback. Pittsburgh might be the easier of the two considering it's the home opener and it's a rivalry game. We always have played the Steelers fairly close. In recent years, we've had games where we've been in position to win those games, even last year, and couldn't close the deal. This is a very big football
Personal
game.
foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 92. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, you don't like to see that. Chad Thomas whistled for the penalty, and he'll take a seat now on the Browns bench. And that's something that Hugh stressed even at halftime going into the locker room here tonight. We've got to clean it up.
It's been about penalties the entire preseason. The Browns have just had way too many, and couldn't really see it there. But Chad Thomas, the rookie out of Miami, just getting to the quarterback late.
Browns run defense doing a very good job tonight.
It's been a struggle for the Detroit Lions offensively. They only have 7 first downs in the entire game, and 4 of those are via penalty by the Browns. So the Browns have just really killed themselves with these penalties all night long.
Browns are approaching 300 yards of total offense. The Lions held to under 150 yards of offense. Their only scoring drive tonight came on a muffed punt recovery. The drive was 4 plays minus 4 yards before the field goal try. So Jake Rudock back to throw now. The dump over the middle, but there is the defense closing and closing quickly. Again, it's Curry along with Denzel Rice swarming to the ball to make the tackle.
Another great play that time by Justin Curry. We've talked about him earlier, Jay, how he flies all around the football field. Watch him read and diagnose this play. He sees this screen coming all the way. He sees the offensive lineman pulling out, and he just beats him to the spot. That's speed right there, just outrunning the offensive line, trying to get out in front and make those blocks. Excellent play that time by the linebacker, Justin Curry.
Definitely has a nose for the football. Rudock now on 3rd and 10. Scrambling left, has some open field over there, trying to direct traffic. He's going to pick up the first down, stay in bounds, and then finally forced out of bounds at around the 5-yard line. So nice play there by Rudock to put the Lions inside the Cleveland Browns 10.
Yeah, watch the end of this play here, Jay. I think the Browns defenders thought Rudock was just going to run out of bounds, as most quarterbacks do. Right here, they thought he was going to step out. He's getting up the sidelines. It seemed like the Browns kind of quit at the end of that play.
Well, Chris Smith was in pursuit, and you're right, just sort of pulled up when he saw Rudock get to the sidelines. Rudock quickly tucked it and picked up a couple more, and now the Lions with their deepest penetration of the night. 1st and goal from the 5. Good job there by the offensive line of the Lions to get a good surge. Washington puts it close. 2nd down and 1 now. Denzel Rice has been out there just about all night for the Browns on defense. Browns coaching staff wants to get as much on tape to look at these players as possible before cutdown day Saturday at 4. Washington lowers his head, plows into the end zone, and that is the first touchdown allowed by the Browns since the Bills game, as they kept the Eagles out of the end zone all night in their 3rd preseason game, and it wasn't until 12:14 to go here tonight that defense gives up a touchdown.
And again, you got to go back to the penalties. I don't think this touchdown drive happens, Dave, without those penalties from the Browns keeping the drive alive for the Detroit Lions. But as you said, the defense has played great all preseason. They have first touchdown they've given up in 2 games. So I'm sure Greg Williams can't be too frustrated with his defensive unit, other than the penalties.
Ryan Santoso on to add the extra point. And it is good. So the Lions capping a 7-play, 73-yard drive. It took 3:05.
It was so funny. Bernie and I were sitting down here on the sidelines watching Greg Williams on that last drive as penalties mounted and the Lions find their way to the end zone. Bernie, it's the fourth quarter of a preseason game, and Greg Williams and Blake Williams are going crazy down here.
Well, I'd like to be able to give the quotes of what he said, but it'd be edited out here. We need a 7-second delay. But the intensity is really impressive to watch.
No doubt about it. And guys, as we watch the end of this ball game, and I'll ask Tim this question too. What are you looking to see? I mean, if you're a coach, do you want to just get out of Dodge? Do you want to make sure that there are no injuries? Or you want to see guys like this return kickoffs back to the midfield?
You want to see that, but you don't want to see the penalty flag.
No doubt.
And that's been the theme on special teams plays. Dustin, you played special teams quite a bit through your career. Is this just guys trying to do too much to make this team?
Well, remember this, guys. When you're out here in the fourth quarter of a preseason game, you're most likely playing on offense and defense too. And so guys are fatigued. You're exhausted. You absolutely have like nothing left. I remember being in some of these games and you're running down a kickoff, then you got to go on defense, or you're on offense and then you got to go cover a kick or be on kickoff return. And so you're just beyond fatigued that I think you see some of these penalties come out.
And when you get fatigued, that's like Coach Wiley has talked about in our meeting and on TV a couple times, you lose your balance, you lose your core, you don't get your body in the right position, you tend to grab and lunge, and that kind of brings on more penalties.
No doubt.
Brogan Roback back in at quarterback. The quick flip over the middle to Days, who is brought down at the 12.5-yard line. Days has been a guy, you talk about playing on special teams as well as on offense and defense. These guys have been out there as Days limps off now with what looks like some kind of leg injury. Yeah, the fatigue it really has to be a factor now, because these guys really are out there a great deal of time. And you want to impress, you want to make a play that jumps off the tape, allows you to stick around on this roster. That's what it's all about in preseason game number 4. Roback finds Jeff Janis, who brings it in up past the 40-yard line, and that's a guy that we talked about earlier. He dropped a ball that I'm sure he felt like he should have had. Has to feel pretty good about that catch. Here's a guy who's had success in the league, had a monster playoff game for the Packers.
Just a great release that time by Jeff Janis. Just gets to the outside and leaves Brogan Roback some room to throw that football and get it up and down. And an excellent throw that time, and great timing on the throw from Roback.
Eastern Michigan to Saginaw Valley State. How about that hookup? Roback under pressure quickly releases it and complete up to midfield. So a little sidearm action there. That is tight end Stephen Baguette, who was brought in late in camp.
Pass interference, offense, number 10. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It's a penalty we've seen
several times.
Too many times.
We saw it 3 times in the Buffalo game, and here again as receivers blocking down the field before the pass is thrown, and that's it's been an issue for the Browns wide receivers.
It's an interesting completion by Roback. It looks like he dropped down and threw that one sidearm.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. It's not always going to be a clean pocket. I think Roback did a nice job he had pressure in his face, but he did a nice job of just finding his outlet receiver and kind of throw it in underneath the arms of the defensive end.
Roback over the middle, complete. Some space now, and a nice pickup by Dontrell Hilliard, close to the first down marker. You saw those penalty yards, over 100 yards in penalty yardage against this Cleveland Browns team. Just entirely too many mistakes. Dustin?
Hey guys, just an injury update. On that last defensive drive, Justin Curry, he was pointing to his knee. You could see he was in some pain. He was telling the coaches he wanted to come out of the game. He continued to play through the pain. Now he is out for the game with a knee injury.
All right, there's a Lion down on the field too. And with that, we'll take a timeout as Days walks off. The Cleveland Browns Helmets Program, in association with Ohio Lottery, University Hospitals, and Zenith, awards high school football teams with $25,000 in new Zenith football helmets. The program has helped provide more than $200,000 worth of helmets to schools enrolled in USA Football's Heads Up football program. Register your school for a chance to win on the Cleveland Browns website today. Marcus Cromartie, the injured Lion, made it off the field. Second down and short on the play, and Dontrell Hilliard moving it forward for a first down. There's a meeting of the minds, huh?
Yeah, I'd like to be in on that conversation, see what they're talking about.
I would too. Cleveland Browns have averaged 16.3 first downs per game. They've got 17, make it 18 on the night now. As Brogan Roback would love to put a scoring drive together. Dangerous ball there to Jeff Janis.
Just a little late on a couple of these throws. You see that, Jay? Just a couple of these deep throws, these out-breaking routes. He's just a little bit late, just a fraction late, and that's not anticipating the throw, and that's what you normally get from a rookie. He's waiting for a guy to get open instead of throwing him open. That's why you see the defender had time to close on that football, and Janis was already at the sideline. That ball has to be in the air before he comes out of his break.
We talked about the running back battle. Dontrell Hilliard, 13 carries, 26 yards. Matt Days, 8 carries, 77 yards, including the long touchdown run. Roback to throw. Has his man. Nice completion. And finally brought down his Baguette after Cleveland Browns first down.
Roback has struggled a little bit in this football game, but he's starting to settle in. He's starting to deliver the football. He's seeing it down the field, delivering strikes to these wide receivers and tight ends. That time, Baguette getting involved in the action, and good anticipation that time. We talked about he missed the out route on the play before, but he bounces back and delivers a nice throw on the crossing route.
So 1st and 10 now from the Lions' 20-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. And keeping his legs churning is Hilliard for a pickup of 9, maybe enough for another first down. See where they spot it. Just enough. Actually, no, just short of a first down. So 2nd down and 1. The Browns quickly get to the line of scrimmage and keep it on the ground, and that will be enough to move the chains. So you talk about Brogan Roback's numbers, 5 of 12 for 98 yards. And it doesn't jump off of the stat sheet, but that last throw was a nice throw. He found the open man, and it was a touch pass, and he completed the pass.
Yeah, it shows signs, Jay, that he can make these throws that are required in an NFL football game. We saw earlier in the game he missed Amari Scott on a potential touchdown, and he's just been late on a few throws. He needs to start anticipating, and every now and then he does it, but he's not doing it every time, and that's just the life of a rookie quarterback in this league.
Well, before Roback can get the snap, there was movement on, I think, the left and right sides.
I'll start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So the call against Greg Robinson. And those penalty yards continue to mount now. 119 yards.
It's unbelievable.
Tim,
and they're up 28-10. Who would think that? With that many penalty yards and you're still winning a football game and getting ready to add more points to that. I'll tell you what I've been impressed with tonight, Jay, is Freddie Kitchens, the running back coach on this football team, who's calling the plays tonight. I think he's called a really nice football game, mixing up the run and the pass, giving these quarterbacks opportunities to make plays.
Well, that run by Hilliard gets inside the 10, but there are flags everywhere. So both of these teams who can't get to the...
There were 2 fouls, both by the offense. Holding, number 17, that's declined. Holding, number 83, is accepted, 10 yards, still first down.
Well, that's the 20th penalty of the night. I've seen him more than I've seen Bernie Kosar. Can we do anything about that? Bernie, let's get you in here. These penalties, they drive head coaches nuts. How do you clean it up?
Well, I think they're driving all of us nuts right now. The mental discipline that you need to stay focused. We've been talking tonight about staying in the moment. they're just not doing it. The concentration's slack, and they're getting out of position and reaching and grabbing instead of having yourself under control.
Roback over the middle. That is a touchdown, a beautifully thrown ball to Blake Jackson, who heretofore was known primarily for doing a ridiculously on-point impersonation of Jarvis Landry's wide receiver room fiery speech. Runs a nice route there, and Roback put it between the numbers.
Throw and great timing. They ran a double post concept to that side of the field. The safety took the inside post and left the outside receiver one-on-one with the defensive back, and Roback saw that and delivered a great football.
Well, that's a 9-play, 90-yard drive in 5:19, and if he doesn't make this team, he's got a nice piece of tape to show the other 31 teams. Zane Gonzalez, point after, is up and good. And the Browns stretch their lead to 35-10. Roback to Jackson for another touchdown. Brogan Roback has to be pleased with that drive. Tyrod says, job well done, young man. Baker Mayfield, job well done. Hugh Jackson, attaboys all around, as he's very likable. That's come across from the Hard Knocks series, and looked very good on that drive. Again, 9 plays, 90 yards. And we're going to get it down to Dustin Fox after the kickoff, because the touchdown pass there to Blake Jackson, this is a guy with a very interesting story, as that ball goes out of the back of the end zone. So the Lions will take over on the 20-yard line. Blake's story is an interesting one. He can do impersonations, but apparently he's impersonating a wide receiver right now, right?
Yeah, he's used to throwing touchdown passes. This is a guy who played Division III college football at Mary Hardin Baylor and was a quarterback. In fact, led them to the Division III National Championship back in 2016, and is making the transition as an athlete to wide receiver. Spent a little time in the CFL as well, but trying to make a name for himself here in the National Football League.
Well, maybe he has a future in comedy as well, because his skit in the rookie show absolutely stole the show. He threw 49 touchdowns at Marion Hardin Baylor and was the MVP of that 2016 Stag Bowl, as he led his club to the title. And this scoring drive brought to you by Speedway, the official convenience store of the Cleveland Browns. 9 plays, 90 yards, 5:19. And the pass from Roback to Jackson to close it out.
Roback did a great job on that last drive, getting completions of 32 yards, 20 yards, and 22 yards for the touchdown, and really getting the football down the field. He had a great drive.
I imagine at this point, both teams anxious to keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock running, and get out of here and get back to Cleveland and start thinking about roster cuts and the season opener 10 days from now.
Yeah, I think so. You know, you just want to get out of here as healthy as possible. You know, your guys that started the game, Baker Mayfield and those guys, they came out and just lit it up, put points on the board right away. And you got to see some running backs, you know, with Days and Hilliard. Those guys played well, and you got to see some young receivers step up and make plays. So I think overall it's been a great night for these Cleveland Browns.
That completion there will give the Lions a first down, but there is a flag down, so we'll check that out. It's in the area of holding. Let's listen.
Illegal use of the hands to the face, defense, number 65. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, another penalty against the Cleveland Browns. Sitting next to us in the Lions broadcast booth, guy you know well, former teammate, guy I grew up idolizing as a high school football player from Massillon, and then a Buckeye great, Chris Spielman. Great to see him.
Just an absolute legend. That guy, man, was a warrior. In 1999, he was with the Cleveland Browns, and that was my rookie year. And I came in, Jay, you know, as the #1 pick, and I said, I'm going to show up early. I'm going to beat everyone in the building. I'm going to be there when everyone gets there. I'm going to be the last person to leave. I get there at like 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking I'm the first one there. Spillman is finishing his workout. He had been there for I don't know how long and just getting after it. And, man, I have so much respect for that guy. And unfortunately, he had a neck injury early in the season, may have been in the preseason, actually, and didn't get to play the entire season. And his career ended. But, man, what a warrior, what a great player in this league and in college.
A pro's pro did so much more than his body allowed. Wasn't a big guy, but boy, did he get the most out of his God-given talents. And just one of those guys that was born to play football. Loved to get dirty. I don't care which of the 4 years it was when he played Michigan. Seems like he always had 100 tackles.
Always.
When the Buckeyes played Michigan. And then, of course, he came on to play professionally as a Detroit Lion. I always wondered, boy, that's got to be tough playing.
You know it had to be tough for him, right?
That was a guy that just hated everything Michigan growing up. The deep ball.
This pass interference on the Browns. Yeah.
Despite the flag. It's a nice throw by another guy that's probably putting tape together for another team.
Yeah, Simeon Thomas, I think this is his second pass interference penalty on the game, and he's just grabbing. He's panicking a little bit. He's in position to make these plays, but he's just not trusting his, not trusting his technique, and he's reaching out and grabbing these Detroit Lion wide receivers.
Big defensive back, 6'3", 190 from Louisiana Lafayette. He's a 6th-round pick, and the Browns are high on him. They'd love to see him develop, but it's 2 plays they can't have from him tonight. As the Lions keep it on the ground, the Browns defense converges to make the tackle. That's Bello getting there to bring the ball carrier to the ground. So as the final minutes tick away of this preseason, I'd like to get the group's thoughts here. I'll start with Tim, and then I'll get it down to Dustin and Bernie. Your takeaway from the preseason?
I think overall it's been a very successful preseason. The first thing that jumps out to me is this defensive unit and how deep they are at every level, at defensive line, linebacker, and in the secondary. And, the first team unit has only allowed 3 points in this preseason, Jay, and that was on the very first drive against the New York Giants, against Eli Manning and those guys. But I've been so impressed with this football team, the improvements they've made from a year ago, the new players and what they've added to this roster. And, I think Tyrod Taylor is going to be an excellent quarterback for this football team. I really do. I liked what I've seen out of him in the preseason, and these wide receivers are going to be special. And I love this group of running backs, man. So this is going to be an exciting season for the Browns, and I think it's going to be a much improved football team.
Well, that's a special hit from Elijah Campbell, the rookie undrafted out of Northern Iowa. We may have to hold on Bernie and Dustin's thoughts on the preseason as the Lions now 1st and goal. And that is caught, and it is a touchdown for the Lions. Chris Lacey with a terrific job of going up over the defensive back and pulling in the throw from Jake Rudock. A nice throw as the Lions now score for get their 2nd touchdown of the night. Terrific work.
Yeah, that had to feel really good for Rudock. He struggled in this football game, but to finish here with a touchdown pass, nice location on that throw, put it up high, let his receiver go up and make a play for him, but he really needed that touchdown pass.
Nice throw. That was Christian Butte in coverage. Just a terrific job by the receiver to go up and take it away from him. So the drive covers 75 yards, 8 plays. They need just 308 to do it. Capped on the 4-yard touchdown pass to Lacey. And I don't care if it's garbage time of the 4th preseason game or not. Greg Williams hates that.
Oh, absolutely. He doesn't let up, does he?
After the PAT, we'll keep it here, and that'll give us a shot to hear from Bernie and Dustin on their sort of takeaways from this preseason. And Bernie, we'll start from you. Tim really liked the defense, thought that the defense played very well, particularly the ones. What's your takeaway, Bernie?
Absolutely, I concur. The thing that's impressive is we saw in the first 3 games that we were basically getting pressure with rushing just 4 guys and playing coverage. Tonight we rushing 5 guys playing man coverage, but the quarterbacks have been under such duress that we've been playing against that it really bodes well for how we're going to do defensively.
I just think, guys, the attitude and swagger of this team has changed. You bring in guys like Jarvis Landry, who have been other places. They bring a mentality. Half the roster's pretty much been turned over from last year's 0-9 16 team, and that's important because that losing culture, they've got to wash that out of this building, and I think they're trying to do it. You can see it even pregame. You're down here on the field watching these guys warm up, and then they take it to the field. Talk about the defense, the swagger that they have, and the intensity of the offensive line. I think it's going to be a fun year, guys. I really do.
Well, we certainly hope so. We certainly hope so. This football team needs some positive energy, and it could all start 10 days from now when they open against their arch rival Pittsburgh Steelers. Browns averaging 7 yards per offensive play, Tim. The Lions averaging just 4.3, so the defense doing a terrific job. The kickoff fumbled by Damari Scott. He thought about taking it out, but had already taken a knee, so it'll be a touchback. The Browns will start at the 20-yard line. 406 yards of total offense for the Browns, 237 for the Lions. Let's take a look at some quarterback numbers brought to you by First Energy, your hometown energy team. And Tim, 9 of 16 for Mayfield. Roback, 6 of 13. Similar numbers. Quarterback rating for Roback was pretty good.
Yeah, he's looked good. You know, I think they both have played well. Baker, you know, some of those numbers are a little skewed, the completion percentage, because Baker threw a few balls away, you know, just getting outside the pocket, no receivers open, and just threw a few balls away. But I thought Baker played outstanding, moving this football team, putting points on the board. And I've been impressed with Roback as well. You know, he started off a little sluggish, but he's settled into this football game and throwing the football nicely.
I think the Browns would love to pick up a first down running the ball and then take a couple of knees, get on the bus, and head back to Cleveland. Bernie, your thoughts on the preseason for Baker Mayfield? Some things that he did really well, some things that he needs to improve upon.
Well, I think it's easy to talk about a lot of the things he did well because there's so many of them, but his poise, his confidence, his sense of timing, especially on the timing routes to the outside, has really been impeccable. So it's very, very promising preseason for sure.
Anything, Bernie, Tim, you can chime in here that you can put your finger on that he needs to get better at moving forward?
I think one of the things he needs to really be cautious of is, again, I don't want to rain on the parade of how fantastic he's played, but preseason defenses without disguises and without the intricate blitzes is significantly easier than what you're going to see in the regular season, as Tim could attest to.
No question, Bernie. You know, we talked to Baker yesterday, and he said the game slowed down for me. And I think Bernie and I kind of looked at each other and was like, yeah, it slowed down for you in the preseason and in training camp, but it's a whole different level when you get to the regular season, and they're game planning for you as a quarterback. They know your strengths, they know your weaknesses, and the game speeds up to a whole other level when you get to that regular season. Not to say that Baker can't adjust to it, but you know, there's certainly going to be a growing process there.
How about Freddie Kitchens calling a pass there to get the first down?
Freddie's aggressive, huh? Hey, man, I like it.
I love the play call. It basically puts the Browns into a situation here where we know the clock is going to stop at the 2-minute warning. I doubt the Lions will use their last timeout unless they'd like to see Rudock in the 2-minute offense. But that bodes well for the Browns killing the clock here as they keep it on the ground there, and that should take us to the 2-minute warning. Although it looks like the clock is stopped right now, so perhaps the Lions did use that last timeout. So Baker's numbers, wow, you know, so much to dive into there. You really like his pedigree. He comes from a blue blood program. He has the hardware. He's the Heisman Trophy winner. He's done so much as a collegiate. Now it turns to the NFL, and I can't help but think of what Bernie talked about just now, the difference between these preseason defenses and the real live bullet defenses that he'll see once he does get playing time, which who knows when that will be. So the Lions did use their last timeout here. A first down for the Browns now. They'd be able to kill the clock. Roback kept it too long and paid the price for it. Coming free and knocking him to the ground was Lions defensive end Christian Ringo. And that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. And we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, Dustin will weigh in on the defensive backs, what he's seen from that unit so far through the preseason. Nothing against Detroit, but The Browns can't wait to get out of here and get back to Cleveland. For some of these guys, the future is uncertain. I think, Tim, for the Cleveland Browns, certainly the future looks certainly bright.
It does. You know, there's a lot of talented football players on this team. It's a deeper roster, and you know, I just can't wait to see when it all comes together. When Josh Gordon is healthy, he's back out on the field, and pairing him up with Jarvis Landry and some of these other wide receivers, and once they get going and hitting all cylinders, it's going to be exciting to watch.
So 3rd down and 11 won't be converted. Dontrell Hilliard brought down after a pickup of 6. That'll bring on the Browns punt team. They'll punt it away with under 1:30 to go. So we'll get to see Detroit's 2-minute offense and the Browns' 2-minute defense. Let's throw it back down on the field now. Dustin, I want to get your thoughts on the secondary. Certainly a unit last season that was much maligned, had its issues. The cornerback room is completely rebuilt. The safeties switch. They get the guys kind of in the right position. What do you make of the back end of this Greg Williams defense?
Well, I think a lot depends on Denzel Ward and his ability to be that lockdown corner. That's one thing that this defense was missing a season ago. And there's a reason why Jabril Peppers was playing so deep, because they just didn't have a lot of confidence in the underneath coverage. And so now you add a guy like Ward who comes in. You've added these other veteran guys to add some depth to the secondary, which has been tremendous. And then you talk about bringing over Demarius Randall. Hopefully his injury is going to be okay, and then you'll be able to put Peppers back at his home position. It's a completely revamped secondary from a season ago. And then add on top of that the fact that you actually have a pass rush now. If Myles Garrett can stay healthy and Emmanuel Ogbah can stay healthy, and maybe add Khalil Mack into the mix. That's a wink, wink.
That's the most Khalil Mack does.
It's a little wishful thinking there, but yeah, but overall, I just think your secondary has completely been overhauled.
It really has. The linebacking core was certainly the cornerstone of the defense last year. All of those guys come back, and that certainly helps. Schobert and Kirksey last year, 2 of just 3 players to play every defensive snap for their team last year. So durable last year and deep. And Dustin, you're right. I think it was the weak part of that defense last year. But if everything falls into place the way the Browns are hoping, that could be a real bright spot to this Browns defense.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, guys. As we wrap this game up, I do want to say this. This is a unique broadcast we put together this season with Bernie and myself down on the sidelines, with you guys up in the booth. Shout out to Jeff Gallen, our terrific crew at Channel 5 that did a great job. And this is a heck of a lot of fun, guys, and hopefully we can continue to keep this thing rolling.
It was fun. We got to work together for 3 games. We'll be back next season for the preseason telecast. Tim, I've enjoyed it. Bernie, Dustin, all of the production staff here, just a terrific job, guys.
Yeah, really enjoyed it, guys.
Nice little shake and bake move there by Washington to move the ball forward. It's a Lions first down, but they're running out of time, inside of 30 seconds and counting now. So the Browns finished the preseason 3-1 after going 4-0 in the preseason last year. This marks the first time in more than a decade that the Lions finished below 500 for the preseason. Nice job on that play by Elijah Campbell to break on the route, knock the pass to the ground. He's disappointed that it wasn't an interception. So we turn the page and we get ready for the 2018 regular season, one of great anticipation for these Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, Tyrod Taylor, many more that weren't here for last year's 0-16. Jarvis Landry,
Carlos
Hyde. That when you look at what John Dorsey was able to do and still keep a large part of this available salary cap space there, it's very impressive. This one is in the books. Hugh Jackson will shake hands with Matt Patricia and head to Cleveland. 35-17, the Browns are winners. We're back with some final thoughts right after this.